There's just 4 race meetings to go in the iRacing MSA British Sim Racers Touring Car Championship, and tonight we head to Florida to Sebring International Raceway for races 116 to 119 of the championship. We'll be back, of course, in Florida later in the year for Daytona, but tonight we're going to be racing around the 3.17 kilometre modified layout, slightly different to the full circuit which the 12 hours takes place on. And if you watched our MX5 coverage on Tuesday night, we saw 4 brilliant races there. Joining me in the commentary box for this race tonight, it's Alex Simpson, iRacing Road Pro Series driver. And Alex, Sebring, we were expecting the full circuit for this, but it looks like the organisers once again have decided to throw a spanner in the works, and we're racing on the pretty short modified layout tonight.
Yeah, hello everyone, good to be here as always. Yeah, Sebring Modified, it's an interesting track actually, and you know, if you'd have told me it was 3.15 kilometres, I would have thought you were talking about the full track, because really, that's longer than I thought it was. So, two reasonable sized rates there as well, some good overtaking opportunities. So the MX5 race meeting was a pretty good one, so I think throw in the fact that the Kias can race just that much closer, with equivalent sort of levels of draft, I think actually we're going to see quite a good race today.
Yeah, 3.17 kilometres maybe does flatter to deceive a little bit. It is just over 1.5 miles, which is just over your average NASCAR track. So yeah, it's still a pretty short one. But yeah, as Alex was saying, those 2 main straights really do help extend the length. We'll run you through the championship standings then going into this race meeting. Wojciech Zawidovic leads by 93 points. Is it any wonder? He's won all 3 race 1s so far this season, and they add to his 22 wins in total for the season. Stanislav Chapelewski sits in second, 93 points behind. He's yet to win a race in the Showdown this season. Dave Baker sits in third. He too yet to get off the mark for CQRS line, and Michael Hall up in 4th. George Simmons in 5th for Boosted, Richard Gore in 6th, unfortunately missing this race meeting tonight, but for obvious reasons, which we'll get onto in a minute. Pete Harrod in 7th place for CQR Race Hub, then 8th Dan Kraft, 9th is Nicole Foggy, and 10th Sven Glatzel, who won race 3 at Monza last week. Ben Hackerson in 11th, Alex Molensky 12th, Jake Blackhall in 13th, with British Touring Car winner and the only winner for CQRS line in the Showdown this season, along with Dan Kraft. Ash Sutton in 14th place. Over into the AM Championship then, Stephen Baxter for Fanatec leads the way, 50 points ahead of Ross McFarlane, and it's 37 points back to Roy Ververke in 3rd. Laura Bond in 4th, 5th John Roberts, 6th Thorstein Helgeson, 7th Stuart Atkinson, and 8th Max Wright. The top 8 there separated by 336 points. And then over into the team standings, where Apex Racing have a very comfortable lead after just three race meetings in the Showdown over CQRS line. CQR Race Hub 777 points behind Apex in 3rd, and then ProSim 4th, with Boosted being the highest of the Pro-Am teams in 5th position. Alex, and we'll get on to the man that sits in 6th place in the standings today, Richard Gore for Apex Racing. Not racing tonight, but he's had some pretty pleasant news this week.
Yeah, he has indeed, so congratulations to Richard on the birth of his little girl. So some restless nights ahead of him, I feel, with the little one, rather than the sim racing worries and the BSR concerns.
Well, he can watch the Ritmatech Sports Car Series, can't he?
Well, that's it, yeah.
That's the one advantage. But yeah, the championship standings, Alex, Wojciech Zawidovic, 22 wins so far this season. He's won at every single race meeting in the Showdown. Could we already be seeing him winning title number 3?
I think it's still a bit too early with that. I mean, we're still, one DNF and the championship's wide open again. So, yeah, far too early. I mean, people at this point, you would have said Gore up until tonight, still very much involved in it. Howard still well in there as well. I mean, anyone in sort of inside 300 points, I think, has got a good chance, because there could easily be a couple of DNFs for somebody. So it's all to play for. I mean, the AM is just ridiculously close. Yeah, that could go absolutely any way at the moment. So in the Showdown doing exactly what it should do. Keep it alive right until the final race, I feel.
And as a team principal, looking at the qualifying standings, you're going to be absolutely delighted. Is it a 1, 2, 3, 4 for Apex here in qualifying?
Until you said that, I hadn't looked to see how it was going, but yeah, not too shabby, eh? Neutral hat back on though.
Straight away. Today, I think, is a pretty crucial race meeting for the CQRS line, Alex. They've only had 3 wins this season in the Showdown. 2 for Ash Sutton, who sits at the bottom of the tree in the pros, and Dan Kraft getting just 1 win back at Suzuka. Dave Baker sits 200 points now behind Wojciech, so he needs to keep them within touching distance.
Yeah, definitely. I mean, from Dave's point of view, he kind of just needs to do what he's doing. I mean, he has had, unfortunately, I think maybe 1 DNF in this one as well. Otherwise, he'd be right on the tail of the 2 in first and second. So things have a habit of equaling themselves out over the course of the season. So keep his head up, keep chin up, and not worry about that gap, and just keep plugging away and scoring those consistent points like he does. And I think he's going to be there come the last meeting of the season, and then Daytona, anything can happen. So close. As for the teams, they kind of need to do the same thing. It's super easy for some of the drivers to get DNFs and some penalty points and things like that. So that's not over at all, and I know the Apex guys are still pushing hard, making sure they do everything to try and maximise as many points as they can score each week. So yeah, it's going to be an interesting run-in, I think, the last 4 rounds.
Still been a pretty good season for Dave Baker. 7 wins. I think that's probably more than he's won in his entire BSR career prior to that point. Running through the grid then, the cars are heading down to the grid. Savinovic starts on pole position. As we were just saying at the top of the broadcast, he's won the last 3 opening races to the race meeting. We'll see if he can make it 4 here. Selin Chepelevsky starting in second. He'll be eager to get his first win of the Showdown. Jamie Fluke in third, ever towing the party line as the reserve driver and helping the team out in third. Andreas Katz in fourth. Then Brian Holmes for Simgear, who were able to get a win last week at Monza. He starts in fifth. Michael Hall in sixth, the highest one of the highest CQRS line drivers in the standings there. 7th, Matt Bunn. 8th, Nathan Davis. Pete Harrod 9th, and Dave Baker in 10th position. Diogo Melro in 11th. 12th, Miguel Freitas. 13th place for Ross McFarlane. 14th, Nicole Foggy. 15th is Jake Blackhall with George Simmons 16th. 17th place for British Touring Car champion Ash Sutton. Johnny Brandon, drafted in for Simgear tonight, starts in 18th place. Dan Kraft in 19th, and another new driver for Pro Sim, Michael Evdoka, starting in 20th place. They need to really fend off the attentions of the Pro-Am team boosted Pro Sim, probably why they've brought those 2 drivers in. Stephen Baxter, the Pro-Am leader, starts in 21st, 22nd, Colin Cunniff, 23rd, Maciek Sakovic, Forstein Helgeson 24th, and 25th, Rusty Laidler, and then everyone else behind him. It's a 50-car grid for this one. We're getting set to race around the Sebring modified layout. It's Apex 1, 2, 3, 4. You can quite certainly there. It's a sea of Apex blue as we get set for the first race of the day. We're underway here at Sebring. It is a good start from Wojciech, but watch out for Jamie Fluke. He's got a pretty good jump away from third on the grid. Andreas Katz definitely hasn't got a good start. He's already under pressure from the CQR cars and from the Simgear cars as we go into the first corner. It is Savinovic that leads. Selin Chepelevsky now in second position. And now watch as we turn hard right into this modified part of the circuit. See if we can get through here without too much contact, Alex.
Yeah, it looks good so far. I'm seeing some weird paints out there, but I've got the BSR paints loaded, so we might have to give it a refresh, I'm afraid. I think Michael Hall showing up in the wrong paint. I don't know quite why that would be, but...
Going through the Le Mans complex for the first time, there was a CQR car there of Dan Kraft getting hit about, and he gets hit again. That's car 153. That's Johnny Brandon making his debut for the Pro Sim tonight in the series, and he's not too afraid to be ruffling some of the Showdown contenders' feathers, as now Dan Kraft is getting swarmed by Pro Sim cars. To his right he's got Evdoka, and he's got Alex Smolensky trying to get through the middle as we head into the modified version of Sunset Bend to complete the opening lap. All more contacts, Dan Kraft's having none of this, and both Pro Sim cars go through into the final corner. That's Dan Kraft, who started somewhat high up the grid, started in 19th place, down to about 22nd now.
Excuse the refresher paint, needed to be done. There's a few showing, don't know.
He's hit him, he's hit Smolensky, and that's maybe a bit of payback for what happened in the final corner. Dan Kraft.
We have a sea of white cars right now as we're on board with Alex.
Oh, someone's off in the background, Alex. It looked like a Youth Energy car, and there's only one of them in the field, and it's Adam McNally. Yeah, he's facing the wrong way going into turn 2, and that is not what he wanted at all. There's as Jamie Fluke takes the lead. What's happened? What's happened at the front? The Apex car did have the lead.
Nope.
My timing screen's messing about with me.
Yeah, it absolutely is. It's still Wojciech from Stellion, and Fluke then Katz. Katz is caught up on the back, and actually there's quite a gap now. Holmes has come out of the cockpit. Hopefully we'll have some liveries to show. Still missing a few, but Hall and Holmes have been having a good battle, but it has let the front four scamper away somewhat.
Oh yeah, it has. Looking at the lap times, 1:09.2 being done by Katz in 4th position. Michael Hall, who was battling with Brian Holmes, 110s and 111s. Now it's Brian Holmes going into battle with Pete Harrod going through the first corner. Pete Harrod in the red and white CQR race-up car, Brian Holmes racing for Simgear. A little bit of contact between the two of them there, going through the slowest part of the circuit, and they're able to get away just about, but Michael Hall has really scampered up the road. He hasn't got much slipstream, so he may get brought back into this battle. You can see there more CQR S-Line cars involved in Dave Baker, Diogo Melro, Ash Sutton, and even Matt Bunn as well.
Who's that spinning in background? Maybe Melro? Yeah, Melro. Just a little bit sideways, catches the car well, loses a few places unfortunately, drops him back down to 12th.
Yeah, Diogo Melro, who was in 9th place, now behind Miguel Freitas, so he may even have dropped back as far as 14th or so there as we go into the final corner to complete the 3rd lap. It is a 15-minute race for the opening race of the day, and then after that we do lap races based on how long it takes for us to complete this 15-minute race. Here we go for the final corner, battle between George Simmons and the aforementioned Diogo Melro. They're just behind Jake Blackhall as they come across line head start lap 4. Melro on the inside in the CQR S-Line car. George Simmons, who's had a good showdown so far this season, took a win last week at Monza. Looking to emulate that here, but now he's going to try and get past the Club Series champion.
Yeah, Blackhall managed to get Melro in the final corner as well, so just carry on slipping down. It was a good move by Jake in his Asher Racing car there.
Jake Blackhall, who won back at Sonoma, really couldn't get much further away from where he lives, from the west coast of America. He's at the inside though of Miguel Freitas. This is a bit of a hot spot here for Portuguese drivers. We've got Diogo Melro and we've got Miguel Freitas here as we go down the back straight, and it looks like Blackhall, Alex Mayo, suffered a slowdown. Yeah,
it does look like that move to the side, then he slowed right down.
Oh, battle between Apex and CQR. It's car 42, that's Nathan Davis versus Matt Bunn. And it looks like Davis has got the position to crack the top 10, but Bunn's not having any of that, and he's going to be right on the tail of the Apex car as we come across the line. This is a battle for, yeah, the spot inside the top 10.
Yeah, these two will go at it pretty heavily, I feel. You want to maximise as many points as they can get. Simmons and Freitas side by side through turn 1 as well. Just want a bit of a shout out to Ross McFarlane, doing a fantastic job in 12th place. Only up 1 spot. He's got his teammate Nico Foggy behind him, but of course McFarlane racing for this AM Championship. And right now he's quite a few places, 6 or 7 spots ahead of Baxter, so he's doing everything he needs to do to try and close that points gap down in that championship.
Ross McFarlane, 1 win to his name this season. That was back at Spa-Francorchamps in the summer, but his qualifying pace has been pretty good this season. Further up the road, we've got we've got wheels to wheel here between Michael Hall and Brian Holmes. Brian Holmes, who started 5th on the grid, he wants that 5th position back going into the final corner. Here comes the CQR race-up car out of nowhere, though. Not Dave Baker, that's behind him. It's Pete Harrod, the 2-time Club Series champion from the Sunday nights. He's trying to get in the mix there as well, and Dave Baker always being the Mr. Consistent, trying to stay inside the top 10, and now he fancies his chances on the CQR race-up car as Hall and Holmes go into battle again.
Yeah, one more time down and into turn 1. Oh, having to take a wide line. Of course, he will have the inside apex for turn 2. And yeah, good on the brakes. You know what Hall's like, very, very good, sensible defender. And yeah, placed his car perfect there. He knew, yeah, he could get a run, but he'd have the high ground on the inside next corner. Much tighter, a lot easier to defend.
All this going on means that they fall further and further behind the quartet of Apex cars. The gap is now 5 seconds back to this second group, and it's looking pretty good indeed as Hall has to go over to the inside to defend the line.
Yeah, one more time. So round the outside, Holmes going to do it. Now, this is not easy, but you can get good drive out of the wide line here. Not the traditional sunset bend. You can see where that sort of starts to sweep in. A lot of tyre sort of rubber gone down there as well. But Hall just sneaks his car in front. That will give him, well, the choice of lines really going into turn one. This time, Holmes going to try and go around the outside. He's going to have to carry some speed in there. Does a good job, just about got the overlap, but then loses it halfway through the corner.
Be close there.
Thinks about a little move. Hall gets a little shunt from behind, just to sort of say get a move on. Didn't want to lose a place to Harrod there, did he, Holmes?
Fantastic scrap this is, and it's just allowing everyone else behind to close up even more. You can start to see the likes of Bunn and Davis and McFarlane and Foggy all start to get entangled in this titanic scrap. Or as points on the top five.
The back of this little group. So there's a lot of other great battles right there out there as well at the moment. Sakovic just ahead of Blackhall after Blackhall's slowdown penalty. That's good. Martin front in 23rd, and Pete Newman as well, still very, very close. Great little pack this one as well. Paul Smith and Sven Glatzel just well, they're side by side right now. So yeah, lots of battles going on throughout the field.
Yeah, that is as far down as outside the top 30. Paul Smith currently being shown 32nd place. May have gained a few positions on that lap, I don't know. But once again, Hall and Holmes still going at it. I don't want to go away in case something happens between this lot. Hall doing pretty well in the showdown at the moment. Brian Holmes joined towards the later stages of the season, but he's already making a good name for himself here. Usually find him in the Mazdas, but doing an equally good job here. As off goes Dave Baker. That could be a few positions lost. Ash Sutton looking at the inside, but he thinks better of it because Baker, of course, is fighting for that championship. Look how that split everyone apart now. You've got the three cars off on their own, and it looks like Sutton may have actually got past Baker in the end, so that's Baker down to a 9th position.
Yeah, he did, and Baker lost 1.4, so he's got his teammate behind him. I don't think Bunn will put too much pressure on him, and actually I think he'll just rather try and defend from, use the slipstream of Baker to defend from McFarlane and Foggy, who are pretty quick behind. Somebody dropping down the order, I'm not sure who it was. I don't think it was Smolinski.
Maybe now Alex Everett. Alex, he's made a visit to the pits. He's still in the pits. I was just about to say that every single car's still running. Hopefully Alex Everett was able to get back going again. But yeah, prior to that moment, every single car was on the track, all 50 of them.
Button up one more place. Surely at the minute his connection's a bit iffy at the moment. We'll focus on Brian as yeah, Ash looks to get forward.
Good line from Brian Holmes there, going through the modified bit there, but wasn't able to take advantage of it. It is just so narrow through there. Oh, contact in the background. That's the Northern Lights racing car getting hit. I think it was Foggy getting hit by Bunn going through the time twisty bit. And now George Simmons is having a little look on the CQRS line car there. You can see Diogo Melo just behind him. As we were saying, George Simmons won last week at Monza. Trying to emulate that here tonight. He's got 3 more chances after this, of course, with the reverse grid. My timing screen, Alex, is showing wheel to wheel for the lead. Savidovic versus Chapelevsky going into the right-hander. Yeah,
that's well, they've got a bit of margin, so why not? Stellion obviously doesn't want to hand this championship to Wojciech. There's no team orders, I can tell you that. So they're free to race, and yeah, race they are.
No.
Brian Holmes, what's
he's
gone
crashed.
On? Down. Let's have a look.
Oh, it's a big one. Well, it's Ash Sutton making a move. That's off the track, and that is into the wall, and that is Brian Holmes up and over. Now, I think the stewards may take a dim view of that. Credit to everyone for avoiding him.
I'm afraid I think they might do. Yeah, the white line is clearly the racing surface. And yeah, Brian only defended to the white line, didn't he? So, yeah. They
wasn't too good there for Ash Sutton, who yeah, won a British Touring Car Championship, by the way. 2 wins to his name as well in the showdown. Won at Watkins Glen, race 2 and race 4 there. But he's been able to survive. He's in 7th place now, but I wonder if that 7th place may get taken away after the race. So a big crash for Brian Holmes. We were just commenting how everyone's still in the race. I think Brian Holmes has got going again. But
his car's absolutely knackered though, so he'll be lucky. I think if he can just finish, that'll be a start side by side. Then this is fun and foggy once again. These guys have been pretty much inseparable all race.
BQR versus Northern Lights Racing. Northern Lights Racing had a good start to the World GT Championship on Monday night. Racing at Spa there. They're doing a pretty good job here as well in the BSRTC. Quite a few names to their name this season.
Good battle further down there, I'm sorry. Yep. Mark Woodhouse, Josh Thompson, Pete Newman. This is around sort of 22nd to 25th place. Great little pack there, 2x2 going through turn 1. Doing a great job.
Woodhouse in the mix there, and Josh Thompson up the inside of car 12. That is Pete Newman. Thompson, biggest mover in the field, I think. 19 positions gained for Tomo there. Unfortunately taken out at Monza last week. Don't know we'll say much more about that, but yeah, you can see two of the GT Omega cars involved as well. And yeah, the car 989, that's one of the new drivers in the Pro Sim fold. That's Michael Evdoka. Now they're going down the back straight again, and field just seems to have spread out a little bit in this group for now.
Baptism of fire, isn't it, somewhat for Evdoka, really? It's like, well, hello.
Is this how it works? Oh, he's trying to get into it there as he tries to get past Jamie Ayres going through the final corner with the GT Omega car with the Welsh flag. There's a Stelian Chepelewski took the lead again, Alex.
He has, and he's actually through this time as well, so it's been a while since Wojciech hasn't won. Stellian's going to have to hold on for a lap and a half.
Just seeing when the last time Stelian Chepelewski won a race. He's taken 9 wins this season. His last win was race 3 at Silverstone, but he has not won a single race in the Showdown. And the last time he won a race 1 was when we were racing at the Nordschleife. So has been some time since he won the opening race, and it's been some time since someone stopped Wojciech Savinovic from winning the race 1 in a race meeting. So we'll see what happens here when we get to the line. As Alex has been saying, there's going to be one more lap to go. Interesting to see if Wojciech wants to fight for this one.
I'm sure he does. Yeah, whether he decides it's worth a lunge on the final corner or something like that, I don't know. We'll see.
Yeah,
is that Brian Holmes just limping around trying to stay less than 2 laps down?
Yeah, Brian Holmes being shown on the lead lap, so yeah, he will just be 1 lap down if he can just nurse it back to the finish. Top 4 then, Apex, we haven't really talked about it, but it has been an absolutely dominant showing from them here in the opening race of the day. Chepelewski leading Savinovic, then Jamie Fluke and Andreas Katz. They always have said that race 1 is the priority, to get those points on the board straight away, then worry about the reverse grid races later on. And you can see that is being worked to full effect here, but will Wojciech Savinovic try and take the win away from Stelian Chepelewski? If Cheppy wins this, it'll be his 10th win of the season, breaking into double figures. Dave Baker may have just overtaken Ashton on this lap as well. We'll see when they come across the line, but now we're on our way to the final corner to Sunset Bend here.
Got to run. Pulled out the slipstream. Oh, he's going for it. Side by side then for the lead. 2 teammates going at it. Wojciech up the inside. And I think, he's definitely got the run. So, beautiful move. We're on board with it at the time. Here he comes.
Well, it was a nice attempt by Stelian Chepelewski, but you just cannot hold him back. Another race victory, race number 23 of the season for Wojciech Savinovic, and he wins here at Sebring. Race 1 goes to the Apex Racing driver, and that is his 4th win of the Showdown. 2nd for Stelian Chepelewski, 3rd Jamie Fluke, 4th Andreas Katz, a whitewash in the top 4. And then Michael Hall 5th with Pete Howard 6th. Dave Baker getting a position on the final lap to 7th. Ashton 8th, Ross McFarlane 9th, and Matt Bunn rounding out the top 10.
Battles going on there side by side. Ethan Davis in the background. Not Paul Smith. Ben Hackerson. John Roberts. He's just 4/10 of a second ahead. So and McNally and Rob Graham. Oh, that is close. That was really close. Who got that one?
It was just McNally by 0.03 of a second. 41st place there for McNally, despite being spun off earlier on. Looks like he didn't pick up too much damage from that either. Now just going to wait for Lee Deemer to come around. Last car on the lead lap. Brian Holmes did finish 1 lap down in the end, and subsequently will be the car on pole position if we do get a full, which usually does happen with our reverse grid wheel in the BSRTC. And there we go.
The wheel, because that restart killed the wheel, didn't it? So I need to bring that back up.
Well, while you do that, we'll run you through the finishing order.
Oh well, it all going wrong. That's dinner.
Oh god.
That's got to be an outtake moment if there ever was one.
See what else Alex has got on his PC. It's only for the finishing order. Project Savinovic takes the win. Second, Stelian Chepalevsky. Third place for Jamie Fluke. Fourth, Andreas Katz. And then fifth for Michael Hall. So with a CQRS line car did gate crash the top five. Pete Harrod finishing in sixth. Seventh, Dave Baker. Eighth, Ash Sutton. Ninth, Ross McFarlane. Northern Lights Racing car in the top 10. And 10th for Matt Bunt. So your average top 10 really. 11th for George Simmons, 12th Nicole Foggy, 13th Miguel Freitas, 14th for Rusty Laidler, 15th Stephen Baxter, 16th place finish for Colin Cunniff with Jake Blackhall 17th, 18th Dan Crafton and his teammate Diogo Melro finishing 19th and 20th for Martin Front. A good drive there from Front, 11 positions gained. Maciek Sakovic finishing in 21st place, Josh Thompson biggest mover, 19 positions gained in his route from 41st to 22nd. Pete Newman 23rd, 24th for Mark Woodhouse. 25th place finish for Sven Glatzel. He won last week. He'll be hoping for another win later today. Jamie Ezen 26th. Michael Evdoka finishing in 27th. 28th for Alex Smolensky. 29th for Paul Smith and 30th for Ben Hackerson. 31st for Nathan Davis. Craig Evans 32nd. Cesare Rizzo in 33rd place. Michael Blake in 34th. Kip Stevens finishing in 35th for ProSim. Then it's the two boosted cars. Stuart Atkinson in 36th and John Roberts in 37th place. Scott Malcolm 38th. And then Laura Bond in 39th and Roy Verke finishing in 40th place. Adam McNally just heading home. Rob Graham 41st and 42nd respectively. Andrew Whitehead in 43rd. Then Dave Crozier 44th. Edema 45th and then the cars that were one lap down or more. Thorstein Helgeson a lap down along with Johnny Brandon. Brian Holmes unfortunately in the end classified as 2 laps down. So he wasn't able to get around that final lap, I take it. And unfortunately, he won't be the car that's going to be on pole position if we get a full. That will go to Johnny Brandon. Then 7 laps down, Alex Everett. And Max Wright didn't take the start. And really, Alex, only 2 retirees. Pretty good start to the evening.
Yeah, I'll take that. You know, pretty decent. Packs were relatively close as well. Just sort of natural spread out there. A few just dropping off at the end. But yeah, good opening race. I mean, I can't say anything more than just get in there, lads. You know what I mean? I've got to take. I can't be impartial on the fence when there's a 1, 2, 3, 4 for the Apex guys. Sorry.
Well, it can only get worse from here.
Well, this is true. Talk about put a dampener on it.
23 wins for Savinovic this season, and I think 18 of them have been in race 1. There's the importance of that for Wojciech. Now we're going to find out the importance of pole position because it's time. I hope we've got it ready now for the reverse grid.
We have indeed. Right. Sim gear wheel goes for a spin. It's close to a 4, but I don't think we're quite going to see it. No, we're not. 34th it's going to be.
That's 4th place Michael Blake. I believe a Sim gear driver. So the Sim gear wheel, putting the Sim gear car on the pole. 2nd for Cesare Rizzo. 3rd for Craig Evans. 4th for Nathan Davis. So an Apex car is still in the top 5, Alex, don't worry. And then Ben Hackerson will be starting in 5th position. Was able to bag a win in race 3, a reverse grid race there at Watkins Glen. So we'll see if he'll be able to do that starting from 5th on the grid. So a very, very enjoyable race for the Apex Racing team. We'll see what happens in race 2 with the reverse grid. It's coming up after the break here at Sebring in the British Sim Racers Touring Car Championship.
I can't believe the night lay waste to all we'd given, but honestly, you've gotta know that this ain't living, but we could run from Elysium and let it burn, let it burn. You've gotta know that nothing lasts forever.
Simulated racing can be awesome, but it can also be kind of a free-for-all. Interestingly, auto racing faced the same problem in its earlier days. Whether it was on the back roads, the beaches, or the city streets, the racing was fun. But there was always a certain level of chaos and danger, until some folks came along and put some order to all of this. Stuff like official racetracks, regulations about weight and equipment, and enforcement of standards. That's what gave us high-speed excitement, fast-paced action, and photo finishes. That's when racing became racing. The guys over at iRacing.com have made the same transformation in the world of sim racing. Sure, they've got the most accurate tracks and realistic cars out there, but that's just the start. See, iRacing analyzes the performance and results of each driver in every race, so you can be sure you're always placed in races where the competition will be tight, and that those reckless drivers who ruin it for us all are kept in the pits. Not to mention that with over 45,000 active members already in their vast community, you can find races day and night, so you can always get in on the action. You can even join a league of your favorite series. And since updates are always automatic, you don't have to worry about software and can focus on the track. Zip up your fire suit and check out iRacing.com.
Truex in the outside, contact made, 56 slides it into 4, who's gonna be into stripe, dead even, give it to Ryan Truex. Truex is your winner over Tandy.
iRacing.com is a sim racing game that combines a true-to-life racing experience with an online community of virtual racers from all over the globe. iRacing offers a multitude of officially licensed cars and tracks, laser scanned with millimeter accuracy. Their car models and mechanical systems are based on real-world physics and engineered in cooperation with manufacturers and race teams. iRacing's web-based interface allows members to compare stats and test drive any combination of car and track instantly. Their skill license system ranges from rookie to pro, ensuring members are always pitted against those with similar skill sets. Members are able to sign up for a weekly race series, compete in time trials, host a private race with friends, and participate in racing leagues created and run by the community. With over 60,000 members, iRacing works in partnership with renowned motorsport organizations like SRO Motorsports Group to deliver virtual races based on the real-life Blancpain GT series. iRacing's Blancpain Endurance Series features team racing, giving members the ability to build a team and participate in races ranging from 3 hours to 24 hours. Additional partners include NASCAR, IMSA, V8 Supercars, IndyCar, allowing members to race in their very own 24 hours of Spa, Bathurst 1000, Daytona 500, and many more. iRacing.com, delivering the most authentic racing experience short of getting into a real race car.
Welcome back to Apex Racing TV. We're getting set for the second race of the day here in the iRacing MSA British Sim Racers Touring Car Championship. After this race meeting, there's just 3 left, and they all take place here in the Americas. We've got Interlagos next week in South America, but we head to Wisconsin for Road America, and then Daytona back here again in Florida to end the season. And Alex, those 3 tracks, they should be pretty interesting indeed.
Yeah, 3 great tracks. 3 opportunities for some really good racing as well. So should be a cracker coming in. So good race the last one though. Thoroughly enjoyed that. For the obvious at the front for myself, but then also for all the mid-pack racing as well, and sort of like the back end of the top 10. That was fantastic all race long. Gutted for Brian Holmes to have got himself not inside the sort of points playing sort of laps. He was having a great battle with the CQR guys there as well. So looking forward to seeing what the guys can do in this one though. It's a fairly sizable reverse grid, so quite a hefty way to come back through the field. Something will always be interesting. Watch him come through. He always seems to be able to slice his way through the field, doesn't he?
Well, just looking at the teams that have won the last few race 2s, Boosted, CQRS line, and then CQRS line again, and then Boosted, and more CQRS line cars. So you may suspect it is their race 2. However, looking at the grids, the highest CQRS line car is all the way down in about 16th place, and I think we'll have a remarkable race in our hands if Diogo Melrose starting there ends up winning. But Boosted have a car inside the top 5, and that is Ben Hackerson. Starting on the pole, here's Michael Blake, so we do have a Sim Gear car on pole, albeit not Brian Holmes. Snorri Rizzo starting in 2nd, Craig Evans 3rd, Nathan Davis in 4th for Apex, then we've got Ben Hackerson in 5th, as we've just been saying, and 6th Paul Smith, Alex Molensky 7th, Michael Evdoka in 8th, Jamie Es 9th, and Sven Glatzel rounding out the top 10. He's won a few reverse grid races recently, so that is how the top 10 is set, and it will be a 13-lap race for the second race of the day here. Race 117 of the British Sim Racers Touring Car Championship here at Sebring. It's Blake on the pole. Let's see who's going to win this one. Who's going to be leading into the first corner? Away we go. And it's a good jump by Rizzo. We'll see if he's able to get the lead off Michael Blake before we get to the first corner. Look at Hackerson on the inside. There's nothing that the Northern Lights racing car can do. There's going to be contact surely going into the first corner. He's so far up against the wall. Blake sliding his way, drifting his way, and off goes Paul Smith. That may have been contact, or that may have just been a loss of talent. But it's Nathan Davis from 4th to 1st, but he gets hit by the Team Mad GT Omega car. And now it's going to be Blake back in the lead again. Hackerson nearly making contact with Davis as well. Pretty chaotic start here, and as we go into the Le Mans complex, it's wheel to wheel for second place, Alex.
Yeah, great battle. I think Blake got quite a bogged down, didn't he? Initially off the line, he got away great, and then sort of bogged down. Oh, one of the Northern Lights guy has got a massive slowdown. I think that is Colin.
Probably
yeah, Colin Cunniff. Yeah,
Cunniff.
dropping down. Poor Colin, he really gets these, doesn't he? Back side by side again for second place. Hackerson won't want to give this one up. Very late braking for both of them. Tiny little bit of door-to-door contact as well as they exit Sunset Bend. But all good fair racing.
Onto the front straight we go then to complete the opening lap. Michael Blake has never won in the British Sim Racers Touring Car Championship. Ben Hackerson won 2 weeks ago at Watkins Glen. Nathan Davis hasn't won a race in a long time. Dave Baker received throughput. It looks like it could be another 0 for Dave Baker, and that could have massive ramifications in terms of the championship.
Yeah, that is actually huge. Dave was still in the running, but I think the second one, that could be his chance at the championship victory done. I hope he doesn't give up though, because you never know what can happen. I remember Sebastian a few seasons being more than 250 points behind, ready to chuck it all in. Took some convincing to keep him to carry on doing that, and look what an absolute barnstorming final race of the season we had that year.
Well, we had a fantastic race here at Sebring as well, him versus Savidovic there. Baker has rejoined the session, but I don't know if he'll be more than 2 laps down. Hackerson, they're going for the lead into Sunset Bend. Ben Hackerson for Boosted Racing gets the lead going into turn 9, and now Michael Blake is demoted to second position. And Nathan Davis now is eyeing that second place up well in third place there, with Rizzo down in fourth, Alex Malensky fifth, Jamie Ayres sixth, with Doka seventh, Newman eighth, Woodhouse ninth. Rounding up the top 10, one of the big movers in the field so far as contact is made between Blake and that's thank you very much, says Cesaro Rizzo. I'll get both of you and I'm up into second place again.
Yeah, Davis come in there a bit hefty.
Davis now.
Not much to say about that. He just come in there a bit strong, didn't he? So I think he'd be worried about that one. I'm sure that might get looked at afterwards. He's under a bit of pressure now. Who's he got? That's Smolensky. Of course, Smolensky had a bit of a rough race, didn't he, the last time? Another very, very quick driver. Who's that behind? Jamie Ayres trying to poke his nose in there as well.
Yeah, Alex Malensky was really stuck with Dan Kraft during the opening race. There was contact between the two of them. Now he's fighting the Apex car. Now he's trying to fend off attacks from the GTO Mega car, Team Mad car, as we go down the back straight in towards the final corner here. Davis on the inside, Smolensky on the outside, and watch out for all the cars coming up through up the inside. It is very difficult if you're on the outside here to maintain your position. Smolensky is trying, and he might still be alongside going onto the front straight. Davis, he is still there, and that was nearly disaster as they come over the line.
Davis giving him a wide berth there and made sure that there wasn't any sort of quarter panel contact. Probably killed him a little bit of momentum. And yep, he's out there to do a job, isn't he, Nathan? Good battle side by side. Smolensky just can't quite hold it.
Oh, look at
they
this.
sort of got locked together, didn't they? Oh no.
Well, that's the Pro Sim car of Doka getting involved, and that's made everyone scatter. Nathan Davis has got broken steering, I think, or either that or he's just trying to regain his composure. Disaster there for the Apex driver. He's down to 17th, 19th place now, and who's profited there?
That's just that horrible point when they get stuck together like that, isn't it? You know how the car can do that. So yeah, that's basically that's released. Hackerson up front, 1.7 seconds clear. Rizzo coming at him. So slightly quicker in that final sector, so doing a good job. Then Blake still holding on in the sort of podium position, so good job for him. But yeah, then we've got 2.7 seconds back to Newman, who come out in fourth place after all of that shenanigans on the exit of turn 2.
Yeah, Newman, 8 positions gained now. Woodhouse is turning into a very good race indeed for GTO Mega, with Sakovic also in the mix along with Woodhouse. The only Woodhouse on the track today, and in the commentary box, unfortunately. Pretty woody as well for the weekend. And yeah, Diogo Mello there with Martin Front in 9th, and Smolensky after that momentary contact still inside the top 10. So things still going okay there for the Pro Sim driver.
Matt Bunn and Pete Harrod are side by side as well. I think Flute just got Bunn on that lap as well, so a bit of damage on the front of his car. So yeah, Bunn coming under a little bit of pressure right in the mid-pack. That's around 19th, 20th place at the moment.
Good job by Jamie Flute, 14 positions gained so far for the Pro driver. The Pro licence doing relatively well there for Apex, got a 3rd position in race 1. Is now 18th here in race 2, 14 positions gained. Behind him, Pete Harrod. We also will just further up in front. That is Dan Kraft getting past Jamie Ayres. And now in front of him, it's wheel-to-wheel between Alex Malensky and Nicole Foggy, what it was. And there's a slow, that is a slow car. I think it's a lap down. It's Martin Front. No, it's just Martin Front going very slowly, Alex.
Yeah, I'm not sure why. Oh, look at this pack swing into turn 1 as well. How they all managed to filter themselves out. Oh, a little bit wide for Kraft. It's a bit compromised on the exit. Oh, smash! Throws his teammate into him as well. Well, that was Ayres, I think.
Yeah, that was Ayres.
Kraft. So I don't know who made the initial contact from behind.
We nearly had a T-bone situation there. However, Jamie Ayres was able to get on the brakes to stop that going spiralling out of control. Ash Sutton was very lucky.
Oh, sorry. A race hub car around. Laidler. Well, what happened there?
Rusty Laidler was
nowhere. Let's have a look back.
Rusty Laidler. Oh, and someone else is off. Ash Sutton is way off, but that's completely unrelated. Or could be related. Alex Malensky then. Ooh. I don't know if there was need for that. I don't know. And then Ash Sutton, I don't know why. Well, there was a CQR car that went off. Alex, your thoughts on what happened with Smolensky and Laidler?
Yeah, I mean, Lader needed to be able to turn in, and Alex kind of just stopped him from doing that. Jeez, yeah, I've just seen the aftermath as well. You know, the car's running wide. So, yeah, I felt like Alex should just give him a little bit of room there.
I just saw it was two CQRS line cars that collided, which resulted in that CQRS line car just going flying off the circuit. Don't know which two it was. I think it was Michael Holden and somebody. Still kicking off in the midfield. We've got Freitas, Brandon, we've got Jamie Fluke still fighting over these positions here. Johnny Brandon, real baptism of fire here in the BSRTC. He's got his teammates and Kip Stevens right behind him. Up the inside goes Brandon into turn 8. To the back straight we go, giving Jamie Fluke the option of settling in behind or running out onto the grass. And it looks like Jamie Fluke doesn't want to give up here. Fluke, you can see, has a bit of damage to the front of his car in this one, so he has been in the wars here, and it's free wide behind him, Alex, nearly.
Yeah, who's that behind? Is that Katz having a little look? I think it was, yeah. Wasn't he? Decided against it in the end. So Katz settles in behind McFarlane and Stevens. Where is Baxter? Baxter down in 39th place as well, so another good clutch of points for Ross McFarlane on the off-in this time. That gap's going to close down quite a bit. Just see if the points were updated between this race. I don't know, they weren't, so I can't give you live points, I'm afraid.
Stephen Baxter does have a lot of damage to the front of his Fanatec car, so something may have kicked off during the race. We have got 4 cars out of the race: Nathan Davis, Thorstein Helgeson, Craig Evans, Paul Smith. After a few metres, literally, I don't know if it was cold tyres or something, but yeah, just went flying off. And yeah, he's out of the race as well. So 5 cars, a few more than in race 1, out of it here. Having a look down the top 10, see if we've got any pretty close battles going on there. Still close between Newman and the 2 GT Omega cars. In the background I can see wheel to wheel between Dan Kraft and Alex Smolensky. That is a move as well. That's Kraft moving into the top 10. That's him now up to 10th position.
Yeah, good one from Kraft. Always willing to stick a move in, isn't he, Dan?
Yeah, Dan Kraft won race 2 at Suzuka, the opening race meeting of the Showdown here. Don't think he's going to be able to do that today. Problem for Rizzo, Alex. He's lost 2nd place, I think. Yeah, sim gear car through.
Yeah, I'm not sure it was a problem. I think it was just an overtake, wasn't it, from Michael Blake? Let's have a little look, see what's... Oh,
it was a mistake going into the final corner. A long way, yeah.
Okay, and then he's got the run, and then just... yeah, gets the move done up the inside of turn 1. And yeah, such a wide entry, isn't it, there? You can really throw it in and just got to make sure you don't drift out too wide. And that's exactly what Michael Blake did and got himself that 2nd spot.
Still not over yet, though, is it? Here comes Rizzo again up the inside. Oh, dear me.
Well,
take that, he says.
That was a bit cheeky, I have to say.
Well, he's not going to make the corner, is he? And then through goes Michael Blake again.
Yeah. Okay, I'm lost. I'm not sure quite what was going on there.
Really weird there. I don't know whether that was Rizzo giving him the position back or he genuinely just unbraked himself. But yeah, Rizzo down to 3rd position now. Miguel Freitas, his teammate. Oh, well, he was. Well, yeah, dropping down the order.
Melrose up the inside of Woodhouse as well into turn 1. Throws it in there as well. We've seen that move a few times. They're going to be side by side. Woodhouse is going to have the advantage going into turn 2. And again, late on the brakes, it's just such a tight corner, it's almost impossible to hold it round the outside. But Melrose tries. He's got somewhat compromised on the exit, and Foggy now having a little sniff. Thinks he can pick up a place here, would get him into 7th place.
Speaking to Melrose during the week, he was racing in the World GT Championship there. Had a spin at Pouon, which caused a massive pile-up. And at the moment, trying to get past Foggy here. There's a very interesting battle going on just in the background as well, between Smolensky and Martin Front as they go down the back straight, and further behind them it's nearly 3 wide as Laidler, Fluke and Brandon do make it 3 wide going down the back straight. This might not end well here. Who's going to be the person that gets on the brakes? Fluke really forcing the issue here on the inside as contact with Laidler, and Fluke is able to maintain 2 wide with Brandon.
Nothing but hard race in there, isn't it? 3 cars abreast going into the corner. They all squeeze down, trying to get one little apex there, and yeah, somehow they all survive. So good driving from all 3. Laidler trying to get that place back as well. He'll chuck it up the inside into turn 1. And Amy carries some decent momentum out there. Again, a little bit slow for Brandon ahead as well, through the centre of the corner, but yeah, they all sort of fan out, as happens in turn 2.
Probably Brandon must be saying this BSR stuff is so easy. 30 positions gained, biggest mover in the field by far. Johnny Brandon in the second race here is now Dan Craft assaults Michael Evdoka coming out of turn 8. Onto the back straight we go. Look how close this battle pack is indeed here. We've got Melro and Foggy just in front of those two as well, fighting over a position, and it looks like they might try and both mug. That is Woodhouse, isn't it, going into the right-hander. Melro has done so, he's up the inside. And will Foggy try and get both of them here? He nearly thought about it there, going through the final corner. And you can just see that Dan Craft looks like he's got past Evdoka there for 9th place.
Yeah, through for Craft. Like you say, Melro, Foggy. Foggy's got the run up the inside. They're almost going to be 3 wide again. If he does decide to throw it there, he doesn't. And so it's just 2 wide between Melro and himself.
So close to that wall going through the first corner. Melro up the inside. This is surely it. But no, round the outside goes Foggy. He's got the space. He's using all that curve on the inside to his advantage. Still cut there going through the left-hander, but it looks like it might just work in his favour here. Unfortunately, the next braking zone is a right-hander, and it may just work again in Diogo Melro. Melro up the inside. Look at Evdoka as well up the inside of Dan Craft there. Great battle this, and we've now nearly got a 2x2 situation going down the back straight. Evdoka and Craft almost running into each other, but the CQRS line car is able to pull in front. From 6th down to 9th on the 6th down to 10th, I should say, on the track.
Yeah, great battle in there between all of them. So very, very good. Foggy managing to hold on there around the outside. Not easy to do at all. Craft somewhat compromised. Didn't want to affect his teammate, did he? And then Evdoka got in on the action. Good to see the new guy not afraid to you know, muscle in places. And again, he's going to have a quick look at Craft. Nothing comes of it. Well, we're on the white flag. What's going on? Hackerson, 7.2 seconds clear. Wow.
Battle for 2nd and 3rd is heating up as well. It's between the two teammates in Rizzo and Sakovic. All that is close between the two of them there. Ben Hackerson leading the way by such a massive margin. It looks like it's going to be his win here, his 2nd victory of the showdown.
Remember, they're not teammates anymore. They just look very similar.
Yeah. Oh yeah, you can tell.
No love lost there.
One has sim gear on the side and one doesn't. That's what my paints say anyway. Down straight we go then. On the final lap, it's those two fighting for position. One person that isn't fighting for position is Ben Hackerson. Only 2 teams have won race 2 in the showdown this season. It's CQRS line boosted, and since CQRS line isn't in front, it was going to be boosted, wasn't it? Ben Hackerson takes his 2nd win of the showdown. 2nd is going to be Blake. Who's going to be 3rd? It's a drag race between Rizzo and Sakovic. Who's it going to be? Oh, just Rizzo by 100th of a second.
We lost Fluke and Smolensky on the last lap as well,
Oh,
so that's quite important for ProSim and Apex there.
This might be worth looking back at.
Everyone else flying across the line. There's no one else really close. Yeah, let's take a look, shall we? And I got something on the start as well that needs to be looked at, apparently.
That was a weird one. That was a weird one, Alex, because they both got disqualified at the same time. But but it's just a technicality with the iRacing system. Do you want to have a look at it now or after the results?
I've just had a little look at the replay.
Yeah, because what happens is Fluke goes up the inside of Smolensky. That probably results in a 0x, but then Laidler comes along and then makes more contacts and more contacts, and then Fluke probably gets punished with the incident, doesn't he?
Oh yeah, that can happen, can't it? That's ever so frustrating.
But it wasn't me, ref. Oh. That's what it looks like to me anyway. Right then, we're running through the finishing results from race 2 of BSRTC here. Ben Hackerson makes it back-to-back race victories in race 2 for the boosted team. And yeah, his 2nd win of the season in the showdown. Whereabouts does he sit, Ben Hackerson? He sits in 11th, so that might be able to vault him up the table here. 2nd for Michael Blake, his best result of the season for the Sim Gear team. Rizzo in 3rd, Sakovic 4th, Pete Newman in 5th. 6th for Mark Woodhouse with Foggy 7th, Craft 8th, 9th Diogo Melro, and 10th for Michael Evdoka. 11th for Ash Sutton, 12th George Simmons, 13th for Jake Blackhall, Pete Howard in 14th place, 15th Johnny Brandon. He gained a further 2 positions on that final lap to make it 32 positions gained. The Pro Sim driver. Big Al Freitas finishing in 16th, Rusty Laidler 17th, Ross McFarlane in 18th place, Katz in 19th and Colin Cunniff in 20th. 21st place for Michael Hall, 22nd for Stelian Chepelevsky, 23rd for Brian Holmes after that back of the grid start after the crash in race 1. Then our championship leader Wojciech Svidovic finishing in 24th place, Alex Everett 25th, Martin Front tumbled down to 26th place, a problem for him on the final lap of the race there. Kip Stevens in 27th, Laura Bond in 28th, Matt Bunn 29th and Roy Verke in 30th. Adam McNally finishing in 31st place with Stuart Atkinson in 32nd, Sam Glatzel 33rd, Josh Thompson finishing in 34th place, John Roberts in 35th, Dave Crozier 36th, Scott Malcolm 37th, and then Lee Deemer in 38th. Stephen Baxter with that damage finishing in 39th place, 40th for Max Wright. He didn't start race 1, so a bit of a better result there for him there. Andrew Whitehead 41st, Rob Graham 42nd, then the cars 1 lap down or more. Alex Malensky and Jamie Fluke both disqualified, so I don't know whether they will get reverse grid pole if they get it in the draw.
I think they do.
Okay. Oh, there you go. So could work out for them there. Dave Baker, unfortunately, did join the session in the end. I was going to finish 2 laps down, and that's 0 for him then. 8 laps down, Jamie Ayres, and 9 laps down, Nathan Davis. And then the cars that were out on the opening lap of the race, Craig Evans, Thorstein Helgeson, and Paul Smith, who was out very, very early on indeed, before we even got to the first corner. So he'll be hoping for better things in race 3. And Alex Simpson may be able to deliver some good news to someone in the field, this time with the reverse grid draw, the reverse grid wheel for race 3.
It's been supporting up the replay from cars in orbit at the end of the first lap as well, so we'll see if we can track that down. Right, so the second race will be 32nd.
Is that the same number? I think it might be in 32 in a row now. Stuart Atkinson is going to be on the pole. Second, Adam McNally. Third, Roy Verke. Fourth, Matt Bunn. And Laura Bond going to be starting in 5th. I wonder if this car's in orbit that we're being told about could be something to do with why Stephen Baxter's got a lot of damage. We might have to have a look back through the tapes here.
Have a quick look. Craig Cloud Evans mentioned it, and he was out in the first lap as well.
Well as Helgeson, so
yeah, so maybe something to do with him.
Right, I'll have a look. I'll focus on Evans. Evans, who had the 2 Northern Lights racing cars had slowdowns. Oh dear, yeah. End of lap 1, Craig Evans and Laura Bond going down the front straight to start lap 2, Alex.
We should catch that then. We're just rounding the back of the circuit at the moment, heading onto the back straight.
Cars scatter. Oh,
then slowdown was it for Evans? Is that what caused it?
Yeah, it's after
I don't really see where he should have got slowdown there.
It's after he served it. Yeah, it's on the front straight. It looks like he's finally served it, but then I think it's someone hits him. I think it might be Brian Holmes, that sends Evans off into orbit. Unfortunately, the car's cut out on my screen at that point, so I'm trying to guess, but I think it is Brian Holmes that hits him.
Helgeson by the sound of it, so... It certainly is. Helgeson launched into doing his pirouettes.
Well, this track is a former airfield, and someone getting their air miles there. Well, it's nothing compared to what we saw with Will Tregertha on Tuesday night.
Oh.
Had to wait to get aborted. Initially ejected from the circuit before he was able to exit the session, which is what we're going to do now on Apex Racing TV. We're going to get set for race 3, and it will be race 118 of the British Sim Racers Touring Car Championship. 32 cars reversed again. Who is going to be winning race 3? Well, we'll find out after the break.
I can't believe the night lay waste to all we'd given. But honestly, you've gotta know that this ain't living. But we could run from Elysium and let it burn, let it burn. You've gotta know that nothing lasts forever.
Simulated racing can be awesome, but can also be kind of a free-for-all. Interestingly, auto racing faced the same problem in its earlier days. Whether it was on the back roads, the beaches, or the city streets, the racing was fun. But there was always a certain level of chaos and danger, until some folks came along and put some order to all of this. Stuff like official racetracks, regulations about weight and equipment, and enforcement of standards. That's what gave us high-speed excitement, fast-paced action, and photo finishes. That's when racing became racing. The guys over at iRacing.com have made the same transformation in the world of sim racing. Sure, they've got the most accurate tracks and realistic cars out there, but that's just the start. See, iRacing analyzes the performance and results of each driver in every race, so you can be sure you're always placed in races where the competition will be tight, and that those reckless drivers who ruin it for us all are kept in the pits. Not to mention that with over 45,000 active members already in their vast community, you can find races day and night, so you can always get in on the action. You can even join a league of your favorite series. And since updates are always automatic, you don't have to worry about software and can focus on the track. Zip up your fire suit and check out iRacing.com.
On the outside, contact made. 56 slides it into 4. Who's going to be into the stripe? Dead even. Give it to Ryan Truex. Truex is your winner over Tandy.
iRacing.com is a sim racing game that combines a true-to-life racing experience with an online community of virtual racers from all over the globe. iRacing offers a multitude of officially licensed cars and tracks, laser scanned with millimeter accuracy. Their car models and mechanical systems are based on real-world physics and engineered in cooperation with manufacturers and race teams. iRacing's web-based interface allows members to compare stats and test drive any combination of car and track instantly. Their skill license system ranges from rookie to pro, ensuring members are always pitted against those with similar skill sets. Members are able to sign up for a weekly race series, compete in time trials, host a private race with friends, and participate in racing leagues created and run by the community. With over 60,000 members, iRacing works in partnership with renowned motorsport organizations like SRO Motorsports Group to deliver virtual races based on the real-life Blancpain GT series. iRacing's Blancpain Endurance Series features team racing, giving members the ability to build a team and participate in races ranging from 3 hours to 24 hours. Additional partners include NASCAR, IMSA, V8 Supercars, IndyCar, allowing members to race in their very own 24 hours of Spa, Bathurst 1000, Daytona 500, and many more. iRacing.com, delivering the most authentic racing experience short of getting into a real race car.
Welcome back to Sebring here for the British Sim Racers Touring Car Championship. We're halfway through the meeting, just 2 races to go, and race 3 just about to come up here. We're just coming to the end of the warm-up session, and in the commentary box as always, Adam Bath here with Alex Simpson. And Alex, once again, we've got a relatively big reverse grid, 32 cars. Race 3 at the moment, just looking from past results, it tends to be a bit of a lottery here, so we could see anyone win this.
Yeah, I think so. Reasonable return, reverse grid as well. So, yeah, who knows where this is going to end up. I'm just reading. Poor Dave Baker has got more connection problems, so that could be him done, I'm afraid.
Massive shame there for Baker going into the showdown with such optimism. One person who we noticed during the commercial break had Jamie Fluke, first ever disqualification for the amount of incident points gathered. Of course, he can get DQ'd if the stewards judge you the guilty party in a crash, but yet Jamie Fluke DQ'd for the amount of incident points. We do have 11. We should just reinforce 11 incidents, which you get for off tracks or bits of contacts, and that can lead to issues. We're running through the grid then. Stuart Atkinson starts on the pole, Adam McNally second for Youth Energy, Verke third, Matt Bunn fourth, Laura Bond fifth, Kip Stevens looking like he's not taking to the grid. In fact, there he goes. And we should be about ready to go. Laura Bond fifth, Stevens sixth, front seventh, Everett eighth, Svidovic looking good in ninth, Brian Holmes in 10th. Here we go, Boosted have already got a win today. Can they get a second one here? Runs away. It's a good jump from McNally. We'll see if he's able to maintain it. No, he definitely isn't. Here comes Matt Bunn round the outside of both of them. He looks like to try and take the lead. Into the first corner we go, and he's clear already. On the inside goes Atkinson. He gets hit by Verke, and off goes Bond in front. Massive one. 2 cars off lead, or even more.
Oh, this is a big one, I think. Find something further back. There's a lot of cars involved in that. Still more cars spinning as well. What's going on? Luke is out again. Quite sure what's gone on there. Yeah, massive problems for everyone. You know what? We haven't seen much of that since a couple of builds ago now, but it just looked like the whole, you know, cold tyre issue there. Everyone just getting all out of shape in turn 1.
What Paul Smith doing? It looks like, yeah, the Martin front did it to kick-start it all off once again here, and yeah, very, very bizarre. But anyway, Matt Bunn, after a lightning getaway, Alex E leads, Stuart Atkinson second.
Yeah, fantastic start, wasn't it? Absolutely nailed it. Around the outside of both of them, swept in. He got a little bit sideways as well, but not too bad. Fortunately, he had the whole track sort of available to him and was able just to get on the gas and sort of get the car recovered. Yeah.
On the inside goes McNally on Atkinson. Looks like the battle for second maybe on to watch here. Never rule out Savidovic as well. He won race 1. I remember the last time he won 2 races in a race meeting, but he definitely has done it this season. Atkinson having to already put the defensive driving to full effect as he wants to hold back the Youth Energy car here. Cars involved in that mess then on the opening lap. Fluke, Laidler had connection issues, I think. Freitas, Front, Stevens and Viverke all out, as well as Nathan Davis.
Yeah, it just all sort of went to a nightmare, didn't it, really, through there. A couple of cars got out of shape right on the apex, and just if you're going wide and then there's something goes on the inside, then yeah, you're struggling. Atkinson and McNally side by side into in the final turn. Is that what you're seeing?
Yeah, I saw a whole lot of smoke at the background as well. Maybe Paul Smith or maybe someone like that, because they were dropping down on my timing screen. But yeah, this battle for third place now, all heating up as McNally's through into second. The Apex cars want in as well in the action. Michael Hall also there on the inside of Stuart Atkinson going into the first corner. Look at Savidovic drifting around the outside. Michael Hall just goes past every single one of them there.
That's great from Hall, absolutely fantastic. Got the perfect line, decided he wanted the inside through there and made it work. Unfortunately for Atkinson, he kind of just got absolutely freight trained there. 3 cars just leapt on him all on one corner.
All gaining 9 positions in this one, so a really good start to his race. Biggest mover so far. Looks like Alex Smolensky, 20 positions gained. He's up to 23rd after starting in 43rd position. Disqualified, if you remember, at the end of race 2. Apex versus CQR then, a good battle as always, the battle in the BSRTC, and it's Michael Hall versus championship leader Savidovic. Hall defending the inside line going into the final corner. Savidovic though is going to completely disregard that and try and go around the outside. I'd love to see this work because I haven't seen any moves around the outside being performed and it pulling off, and even Savidovic can't get it done here, but he is trying to get past the CQRS line car.
Yeah, no, he got a good drive off the corner. Now maybe having a look down into turn 1. Hall just turns in a little bit early just to cover that off. I guess they always have a habit of just putting his car in the right place. McNally just running a little bit wide there as well as he starts to close in on Matt Bunn. So it's a good little fight out front right now as well. Some good battles further back. Diego Melro and Michael Edoka. Dan Kraft gets in on that one as well. That's a good little battle. And then everybody else just starting to spread apart. But the pack actually goes all the way down from 1st to 24th place now.
Quite remarkable. Hackerson is in there as well, that group that you were just mentioning. He was trying to get past the car there, getting driven by Mark Woodhouse. That is down in 18th position. Hackerson 19th. Another strong race from him so far. 13 positions gained, and we're only on lap 4. But yeah, as Alex was saying, that train is big. Savidovic around the outside of Hall. This is for a final spot on the podium here. And if you can avoid it, you may be even setting your sights higher because McNally and Bunn aren't that too far away. Over the line we go then to complete lap 4. Who had that position at the line? I think it was just Hall, a few thousandths of a second. And now into the first corner. Hall on the outside, Savidovic on the inside. Contact made between the two of them. They slide a little bit. And Hall, if he can just throw it up the inside, the game is up and Savidovic is already clear and through.
Yeah, a good hard battle in between both of them there as well. Hall left him just enough room on the inside, didn't he? Just, you could see that he just turned in a little bit earlier than Wojciech there as well. And that's what you need to do to try and defend when someone's up the inside. You can't give them too much space, but nice and fair from Hall. And McNally getting a little bit of a run on Matt Bunn here as well. Bunn going defensive, goes to the white line, so he can't get to the inside. McNally's going to have to go around the outside if he's going to do this.
Going to the outside, and you can see just in the background as well that Cheppy's trying to get past Hall going into the final corner. So it seems to be attack on CQR race here. McNally getting the cut back on the exit. This should put him in good stead going down the front straight. But look who is coming. Championship leader Wojciech Savidovic, the winner of race 1. Last time he won a race 3, we're back at the Nürburgring, race 78 of the season, and we're now on race 118. So some 40 races ago.
And not quite the exit he wanted there. Put some pressure on Matt Bunn.
Yeah, this train is quite a big one. There's a race-up car in the mix there as well. That is okay, that is. I could have had this a second ago. It's Pete Harrod. He's in 10th position. He's got Andreas Katz for company. CQR race-up fighting in the Pro Championship, trying to keep back Boosted, who got a win in race 2. And speaking of Boosted, he's trying to get past the boosted car, and that is Stuart Atkinson, who started on the pole position earlier. Oh, Bunn versus McNally as well, and Savidovic. That battle is good, but this one's even better going into the final corner. McNally goes way too deep. That's going to be second place for Savidovic, and it could even be first by the time we get to the end of the front straight, because he got a superb run on Matt Bunn here.
Yeah, it's going to be... I'm not really sure where to look, because I think there could be a move into turn 1 for this, and also Hall, Cheppy and McNally. They're very, very close, almost 3 wide in the background as well. Great battling out there in this third race.
Oh, Hall just gets shoved out wide by McNally. He's on the grass, and he needs to be careful about the rejoin. He gets on behind the Northern Lights racing car of Cunniff there. But it looks like that Stelian Chapelevsky is now in 4th. And Wojciech Savidovic remains in 2nd position, and Hall, yeah, losing out big there, down to 7th place.
Yeah, it's Alex Everett who falls in line behind Cheppy right now, and then we've got Cunniff and, like you say, Hall, McFarlane there as well, having another fantastic race. Where is Baxter? Baxter struggling somewhat, 27th in this race. McFarlane's going to be hunting those points down. Unfortunately, again, it's it has. Oh, I lie. Points have updated. Yeah, there was 23 points between them going into this race, as again it's side by side for the lead. Wojciech's trying to go around the outside. He's got the overlap, I think, this time.
Oh, yeah, here we go. We could have 3 wide on our hands here, because Adam McNally fancies his share of the action. That Bunn on the outside, Wojciech Savidovic on the inside. We saw how he was able to do a superb move on Michael Hall earlier in this similar situation. McNally trying a very outside line there. That's not going to work. In fact, it's going to make him lose a position to Stelian Chapelevsky here if he's not too careful. Cheppy around the outside and nearly up the inside of Bunn there. Bunn had to look in the mirrors there for a brief moment. And now McNally's going to get done by Cheppy, and he's also going to get done by Alex Everett. Slow down.
I think it was a slowdown there. He just took far too much of the inside to try and avoid the guys. And yeah, he's been penalised somewhat there. McFarlane's just going to sneak past him as well, is he? I don't know. I think he's just got it served at this point. So McFarlane not quite through. Stays in 8th place. Diego Melrose side by side with Brian Holmes. So they're having a good little battle again. And you've got Woodhouse and Hackerson very, very close. Hackerson pulls out of the slipstream again.
Just up in front of all those guys as well, you can see a Pro Sim car and another CQRS line car going over toward. That must be Downcraft, and I think that is Johnny Brandon, the biggest mover in race 2. But Brian Holmes and Diogo Melro again going at it here. Gear versus CQRS line. Oh, that's Kraft.
Kraft, I think.
That is Daniel Kraft. He was battling with Johnny Brandon. And could this be another CQRS line car in trouble here?
Yeah, it looks. I think he's going to be okay, but it took a pretty heavy hit.
Oh.
So just got to watch out for the meatball. I think it could cause him some problems. But yeah, big hit there. So don't quite know what happened. Let's see if we can't get that back on a replay.
Stuck together again, it looks like. Johnny Brandon moving across Downcraft, and tell you what, first of all, Brandon does a great job of not getting out of the race himself, but poor Downcraft, that tyre wall just came up a bit too quickly on the outside.
Yeah, so side by side through the exit of the final corner. And they just, it's a bit of a bad camera angle, but yeah, they just nick each other, don't they? And that's all it is. You know, that's all it takes sometimes.
Chapelevsky getting getting ready to take second place away from Matt Bunn as they go through the final corner. We could have a similar situation on our hands here if we're not too careful. Bunn on the inside, Chepelevsky on the outside. We're starting lap 10 of 13, so 4 laps to go, including the one that we are on. Bunn up the inside. He's not going to make the corner. He hits Chepelevsky, but he's not going to make the inside. That was for sure there. And now here comes Alex Everett around the outside going into turn 2. We're closing in on, well, Savidovic isn't breaking away at the rate he'd like, I think. Chepelevsky at the inside. Still no way to get past Bunn, and Everett gets hit by the Northern Lights racing car. Yeah,
Colin kind of just sticking his nose in there a little bit, but more than anything, really, Everett just oh, wow, big hit from behind.
That's Hall and McNally. Michael Hall and Adam McNally, yeah, see what happened here. Oh, all gone the brakes a bit early there, I think. Well, either that or McNally really misjudged the braking point, and yeah, Michael Hall has a massive slide and loses a few positions to go with it.
What happened? I think Hall perhaps was compromised a little bit by what happened the corner before as well. I wonder if McNally didn't come in there a bit hot. It could be a combination of both, I suppose. A little bit late and a little bit early caused that. Chepelevsky once again. McNally's been disqualified. Oh, Stillion, very, very tight. As,
yeah.
Bunn does not want to give this place up at all. Well, really pins him down to the corner.
Oh, you've come this far, Matthew. Oh no, that's a disaster. And that's Alex Everett up the inside to take both of them and into second place. Well, it's not worked out at all for Matt Bunn. He is the big loser there. Chepelevsky is now down to, remains in third position, really. And now the Northern Lights racing cars, like the Bears on Honey, and now they want the positions. Oh, they've collided with each other. That's McFarlane getting into Cunniff, and now they're both off. I don't know where one of them's going, and that's just allowed everyone else to come back through as well.
Yeah, not quite sure what happened there. Unusual for the two teammates like that to hit each other. I just think that was a concertina effect, really. Just get elbows just coming out a little bit, I feel, in this one. So race 4 is going to be an absolute doozy, I'm sure.
Oh, well, it is, especially on this modified circuit where it is so difficult to get some overtakes. And here, problem for one of the Apex cars on the exit.
Back, yeah.
Chepelevsky in issues here.
That damage, do you think? Yeah, because he's just absolutely falling back as well.
Oh, well, in front of him, he's got a perfect view of something kicking off here between the Northern Lights racing car of McFarlane and Pete Harrod going into turn 2 here. Looks like Chepelevsky, it looks like he's picked up the pace again. Maybe it might have been a slowdown, or maybe he was trying to return the favour to somebody, I don't know. But yeah, Chepelevsky down to 6th position now, Harrod up to 4th, 15 positions gained. One of the biggest movers that we've got on the field in this one, and Ross McFarlane now in 5th place. It's the penultimate lap of the race here, and it has settled down in terms of at the front. Savidovic leads Everett by 2.7 seconds now. Bunn in 3rd, Harrod 4th, McFarlane 5th, Cheppy in 6th, Cat 7th, Hall 8th, Cunniff 9th, and Jake Blackhall rounding out the top 10.
Yeah, Colin side by side with Michael Hall. Hall a little bit later on the brakes, just gets into the back of Colin's car there. It compromises both of them somewhat. Yeah, and Blackwell says, well, thank you very much, I'll take those 2 spaces.
Oh no, here comes Atkinson though, and he's coming at a fair rate of knots because all 3 in front had to check up. And now here comes Melrose. Oh, cover your eyes, folks, because this could end up in an absolute car crash of a mess here. Into the first corner we go. Melrose up the inside of Atkinson and Blackhall, so it's worked out brilliantly there for Diogo Melrose. And he may even get some more places here going into turn 2. Up the inside goes Blackhall, but Melrose is able to move across in front. The Northern Lights racing car goes very wide indeed. And that's going to be Hall colliding with him on the exit of the corner. This is over 10th and 9th place. 8th and 9th, I should say.
Yeah, good little battle actually. They didn't really knock each other off there. We thought of the worst and saw the best. Right, what's going on? I am looking at Pete Harrod on Matt Bunn here. Final straight. Got the run, he's got the inside line, and who's that? That's McFarlane, thinking about making it 3 wide into the final corner. He does! Very late on the brakes. Can he get the car stopped? Yes, he can. It forces Bunn out wide, and Well, Harrod says, well, yep, thank you. I will take that on the final lap. And now it's a drag race between Stelian Chepelevsky and Matt Bunn. They're side by side as well. We missed Wojciech Savidovic coming across the line with all that action.
Well, it was a foregone conclusion anyway once he got the lead. But yeah, Wojciech Savidovic makes it win 24 of the season. And for once, it wasn't in race 1. He's able to get it done there. Michael Evdoka, I think, has been DQ'd on the final lap of the race, which is a shame for him. He was running in about 18th place when it happened. And everyone else streaming across the line. We've got Jamie Ayres versus car 44. That must be Michael Blake. That is really close there as we run to the line. A problem for Mark Woodhouse, it looks like. And oh, who had that at the line? I think it was Ayres. No, Blake by 1,000th of a second. Getting that 35th position. That could be also crucial in terms of the reverse grid. And yeah, Evdoka DQ'd. Dima 38th. And it looks like Andrew Whitehead is going to come around the final corner to get what will be 39th. And considering it looks like we've lost Dave Crozier on the last lap, it looks like Whitehead could be the car that may get the reverse grid pole if we get a full. But Alex, race 3, your thoughts?
Yeah, fantastic race. Really enjoyed that. Guys really battling hard out there as well. I say it just picks up, doesn't it, as the night goes on. They just always get that little bit more ambitious in some of the moves that they take, and also then in return with the defensive posturing that they put on there. So yeah, good race. And just look at the gaps all the way down that field. It just gets closer and closer and closer. So yeah, looking forward to the fourth race. I think there might be a slightly elevated temperatures out there under the collar and things like that. So yeah, it could be an exciting one.
Is Sebring a track that you can do at night?
Yes.
Well, we didn't see that used on Tuesday, but I wonder if the organisers may have something up their sleeves for that one. I don't know. But yeah, we're running through the finishing order here from race 3 at Sebring, and it is a familiar face once again at the top. His second win of the evening, his 5th win of the Showdown, and his 24th of the season. Wojciech Savidovic wins it again. Alex Everett in 2nd, 3rd for Pete Harrod, 4th for Ross McFarlane, and Matt Bunn finishing in 5th in the end. Stelian Chepelevsky losing some more ground on his teammate. He finishes in 6th with Katz in 7th, Michael Hall 8th, Diogo Melro in 9th, and rounding out the top 10 it is Jake Blackhall, 11th for Colin Cunniff, 12th for Brian Holmes, 13th for Johnny Brandon, 14th for Sven Glatzel, 15th for Ben Hackison, the race 2 winner, 16th for Stuart Atkinson after starting on the pole, Mark Woodhouse 17th, 18th for Alex Malensky. I believe he was the biggest mover in the field. Yes, he was. 19th for Pete Newman, and 20th for Maciej Sakovic. 21st place for Ash Sutton, 22nd for Stephen Baxter. Despite that not being the best result for him, considering where Ross McFarlane finished, he did have a good race. Stephen Baxter, he gained 17 positions. Rizzo 23rd, 24th for Dan Kraft. Dave Baker finishing in 25th place in the end. He managed to get the connection issue sorted for this one. However, because he was starting at the back in 45th place, he could only make it as far as 25th. He'll be hoping for a very small reverse grid for the final race of the day. Josh Thompson finishing in 26th position in the end. 27th for Scott Malcolm. 28th for Nicole Foggy. Max Wright 29th and 30th for George Simmons. Paul Smith started stone dead last for race 3. 50th and got 31st. That's a good job there from the race sub driver. 32nd Rob Graham. Forstein Helgeson 33rd, 34th for Michael Blake, just edging Jamie Ayres by 1,000th of a second there to 34th position. 36th for Laura Bond, 37th Lee Deemer, John Roberts in 38th, Andrew Whitehead in 39th, and Dave Crozier finishing in 40th. And then the cars were 1 lap down or more. Michael Evdoka DQ'd on the last lap, but anyway, he'll still be on the pole if we get a full reverse grid. At 42nd, Adam McNally, 43rd, Craig Evans, and then the cars that did not finish the race, most of them involved in the pile-up that we saw in the first corner. Roy Ververke started 3rd, Miguel Freitas, Martin Front, who started inside the top 10 along with Kip Stevens, Rusty Laidler, 13 laps down in 48th. I think that may have been a connection issue that may have stopped Laidler's partaking in the race. Jamie Fluke didn't get far at all there, and neither did Nathan Davis. Both of them out of the race very early on indeed, and yeah, more problems for Nathan Davis in race 3 after issues in race 2. Right then, final reverse grid of the day. I don't know if we're going to see any night conditions. I was just merely suggesting it. I think we may have seen night conditions when we were here a few seasons ago, but we'll wait and see. we'll hand it over to Alex to find out where people are going to be starting for the final race.
With a spin. You might be in for your full. Yeah, absolutely are.
Not what Baker wanted, but it's going to be a full then. And that is Michael Evdoka on the pole. On his debut for Pro Sim, he's going to be at the front. Dave Crozier going to be starting in second. Very good race 4 grid for Boosted. Andrew Whitehead starting in 3rd. John Roberts 4th. Lee Deemer going to be starting in 5th. And just looking at the way the championship standings are looking, Boosted and Northern Lights both overtaking Pro Sim. Big race for some of those drivers at the front, Alex. Michael Evdoka, Pro Sim driver, he needs to get them back ahead of the Pro-Am teams. And Whitehead and Roberts, they want to stop Northern Lights Racing from gaining any ground on them in the Pro-Am Championship.
Yeah, it's all getting quite exciting. I'm just having a quick look at the team points actually to see how they are doing. It is getting quite close there as well. About 140 points between those two, so very close in the Pro-Am, I have to say.
Well, we've only got a few minutes to wait and then we'll be able to see what happens in race 4. Join us after the break here on Apex Racing TV for the final race of the evening, round 119 in the iRacing MSA British Sim Racers Touring Car Championship.
I can't believe the night lay waste to all we'd given. But honestly, you've gotta know that this ain't living. But we could run from Elysium and let it burn, let it burn. You've gotta know that nothing lasts forever.
Simulated racing can be awesome, but can also be kind of a free-for-all. Interestingly, auto racing faced the same problem in its earlier days. Whether it was on the back roads, the beaches, or the city streets, the racing was fun. But there was always a certain level of chaos and danger, until some folks came along and put some order to all of this. Stuff like official racetracks, regulations about weight and equipment, and enforcement of standards. That's what gave us high-speed excitement, fast-paced action, and photo finishes. That's when racing became racing. The guys over at iRacing.com have made the same transformation in the world of sim racing. Sure, they've got the most accurate tracks and realistic cars out there, but that's just the start. See, iRacing analyzes the performance and results of each driver in every race, so you can be sure you're always placed in races where the competition will be tight, and that those reckless drivers who ruin it for us all are kept in the pits. Not to mention that with over 45,000 active members already in their vast community, you can find races day and night, so you can always get in on the action. You can even join a league of your favorite series. And since updates are always automatic, you don't have to worry about software and can focus on the track. Zip up your fire suit and check out iRacing.com.
On the outside, contact made. 56 slides it at a 4. Who's going to be at the stripe? Dead even. Give it to Ryan Truex. Truex is your winner over Tandy.
iRacing.com is a sim racing game that combines a true-to-life racing experience with an online community of virtual racers from all over the globe. iRacing offers a multitude of officially licensed cars and tracks, laser scanned with millimeter accuracy. Their car models and mechanical systems are based on real-world physics and engineered in cooperation with manufacturers and race teams. iRacing's web-based interface allows members to compare stats and test drive any combination of car and track instantly. Their skill license system ranges from rookie to pro, ensuring members are always pitted against those with similar skill sets. Members are able to sign up for a weekly race series, compete in time trials, host a private race with friends, and participate in racing leagues created and run by the community. With over 60,000 members, iRacing works in partnership with renowned motorsport organizations like SRO Motorsports Group to deliver virtual races based on the real-life Blancpain GT series. iRacing's Blancpain Endurance Series features team racing, giving members the ability to build a team and participate in races ranging from 3 hours to 24 hours. Additional partners include NASCAR, IMSA, V8 Supercars, IndyCar, allowing members to race in their very own 24 hours of Spa, Bathurst 1000, Daytona 500, and many more. iRacing.com, delivering the most authentic racing experience short of getting into a real race car.
Down on the grid here for the final race of the day here in the iRacing MSA British Sim Racers Touring Car Championship round 119. After this, just 3 race meetings to go. Final race then. Michael Avdoka starting on the pole. Dave Crozier second. Third, Andrew Whitehead. Fourth, John Roberts. Fifth, Lee Deemer. Sixth, Laura Bond. Seventh, Jamie Ayres. Eighth, Michael Blake. Ninth, Thorstein Helgeson. 10th, Rob Graham. Adam Bath here with Alex Simpson in the commentary box once again. And Alex, here we go. This could be anyone's race, judging from who's in the top 10.
Yep, I'll agree with that one, definitely. Like I say, 4th race of the night, elbows usually come out just that little bit more. Yeah, I think it's going to be a bit of a fierce and tasty race to watch. Definitely best to be a neutral at this point, I think.
Yeah, last at Monza we had 4 different teams winning it. We've already had Apex win 2 here. Could we see Boosted win another one here with Whitehead and Roberts starting 3rd and 4th. Attention turns to the lights, and we're going to get set then. It's Avdoka on the pole. Let's see if he can get a good start away from the pole. Underway here for the final race. Good start from Avdoka. What can Crozier do? He hasn't been able to do much about it. Here come the boosted cars to try and take that 2nd place away going into the 1st corner. We've seen a few crashes here now in race 2 and race 3. Sideways and over. That is a big one. But fortunately the track is wide enough so that everyone should be able to avoid it. Who was it? It was Lee Deemer, wasn't it?
Just on his own as well. Oh no, big crash as well at the back of the pack. Everyone's scattering, loads of Fanatec cars around. A few other people off, some CQR cars involved, and someone's lost it at the hairpin as well.
Another Fanatec car, yeah. Oh. Cars involved, Deemer, Baxter, oh no, Sakovic, Glatzel, Holmes, Michael Hall, Craig Evans, and maybe Laidler as well. Just a few, just to name a few. Onto the back straight we go then, and it is Avdoka breaking into an early lead. Could he be winning here in his debut for Pro Sim? It's on for 2nd place though. Here come Crozier and Roberts going wheel to wheel down the back straight.
It's been a great meeting for Baxter, but at least he's still running. Let's hope he hasn't got any terminal damage there, because his points lead is down to 5 points now, and yeah, so he needs to at least make sure he scores something. Where's McFarlane, of course? Going to be the next 28. Interesting thing.
28th place. Big mover. Next one. It's Ash Sutton. He's up to 7th place. 14 positions gained as John Roberts takes 2nd off Crozier after Crozier goes wide through the 1st corner. But crazy battle going on between Ash Sutton, Thompson, Ayres, Graham, and Paul Smith in there as well.
Yeah, you know what Thompson's like. He doesn't like to give up the fight, does he? So, but yeah, Sutton already through there. Baker having a better race this time. Still, as Bond just gets all out of shape in front of him. Thank you very much, he says. Takes that spot. But yeah, a bit gutted for Dave. I'd like to have seen him, you know, not have that, you know, an internet dropout as an issue. And still be fighting the guys at the front. So.
Well, the showdown was looking set to be such a brilliant time for Baker. He'd won at Bathurst the race before the showdown started. Ever since it kick-started a few weeks ago at Suzuka, it hasn't been going well at all there. Picked up a 0 at Suzuka, and tonight, just the latest in a showdown full of issues for him. Wheel to wheel here between Alex Smolensky and Scott Malcolm. This is 16th and 17th. Scooping it out here as we go across the line, 2 by 2 in fact, because they've got Diogo Melro and Colin Cunniff scrapping behind them, going into the 1st corner. Smolensky braking later and is able to get the position.
Yeah, good for Smolensky. It's a bit of a topsy-turvy race as well, hasn't he? So, up the inside, pretty heavy there. Contact. Who was that? That was Matt Bunn on Colin Cunniff.
Oh yeah, as well.
Definitely a firm, aggressive move there. I'm sure that one will get looked at. When I was a driver, I'd be like, nah, I can't have that. Get that on the protest sheet. Bunn up the inside of his teammate this time, and Cunniff, he's like, well. Gonna come from, oh no!
Nearly a quarter panel there.
Yeah, I could see it coming, but actually they're okay.
Similar move that was done at the start of that lap happened to me at the karting a few weeks ago. I dished it back. Speaking of dishing out, that's Josh Thompson. Somehow saves the car from going into the wall. He's not going to be happy with that, and this has just opened up a whole can of worms. Yeah.
Bond and everyone through. Might have compromised a little bit.
Josh Thompson,
connection issues.
He's back where he started. Yeah, Sutton blinking in and out. Bond up the inside of everybody. He's just trying to get past Andrew Whitehead here, but here comes round the outside. That is Jamie Ayres up the inside. Crozier has lost a few positions. He's down to fifth all of a sudden. Looks like through have gone Sutton and Baker.
Oh, Colin Cunnif's around. Something wrong with Colin.
Big crash. I saw a race-up car in the air.
Up as well, yeah. Into
may have been Harrod.
Not great at all there, but that's what happens at that sort of tight corner, isn't it? Everyone. Oh, who's that wide? That's coming onto the back straight. Smolensky, I think. Oh, he just comes onto the track and wipes out Matt Bunn. Whoosh. That's all you can say to that.
Well,
oh dear, that was not a good rejoin.
Might be. Well, Smolensky and rejoins don't go well together. Just look at Phillip Island at the start of the season. That is really unfortunate for Matt Bunn. I know CQR, the politics of this series, the CQR brigade have an issue here, and I wonder it might just intensify a little bit there. I don't know. There'll probably be an angry Facebook post about that. But yeah, Andrew Whitehead then is under pressure again from Jamie Ayres going into turn 2. This battle continues, and yeah, this is over 6th place on back. Everyone queuing up now behind the Pro-Am driver.
Yeah, Whitehead, after the collision he had with Thompson, really has lost the draft, didn't he, of Crozier ahead, and that's kind of what's made him a little bit vulnerable. But Ayres gets a great run out of the back straight. Surely he's going to be through. The 3 wide further back as well. Thompson, Melrose, and I think Malcolm. We'll just keep an eye on this battle though, as Whitehead tries to brake late, and but very late on the brakes was Ayres. Gets the car stopped in time as well. Good move. Moves himself up and into 6th place.
Good move there by Jamie Ayres. That's his first position gained in this race. He's up to 6th place now, started 7th. And yeah, he's marching onwards. What a race by Michael Avdoka this is at the moment, leading by 2.3 seconds. Malcolm versus the Apex car there of Katz going into the first corner. Katz taking the inside line. Paul Smith now trying to get past Andrew Whitehead and has done so. Now it's the turn of George Simmons, R7. Simmons who won last week at Monza.
Yeah, Simmons has not really been almost like a no-show this week, hasn't it? Hardly seen him out there. But yeah, just clocking up the points. See where he is for the night, because like I say, he's not done a huge amount. Yeah, 18th overall for the night, so not what he wants for his showdown.
Thompson and Diogo Melrose were exchanging positions on that lap, and here comes Mark Woodhouse behind them. Woodhouse, who has gained 8 positions so far, going into the final corner. Melrose under pressure for, well, trying to attack Thompson. Thompson covering the inside line, resolutely there, going through the final corner. And they are this is just one battle in one huge battle to try and gain some positions. John Roberts has lost 2nd place to Dave Baker. Don't know what's gone on there. So many battles on the track, don't know where to look, Alex.
Yeah, Laura Bond as well, and Rob Graham going at it. Just behind them, it was Newman and Max Wright. They were side by side, a bit of contact further back. So, but yeah, Baker as well up to 2nd. What's he got? 2.2 seconds with 7 laps to go.
Half a second
catching
quick
up
on that
at about
lap,
half a second a lap. Yeah, so yeah, Michael Avdoka, of course, new to the series, thinking he could get a win on his first meeting. Well, he's going to have his work cut out for him now, because he's got Baker on a charge. Johnny Brandon is out of this race as well. He's dropping down the timing screen, so I don't know if that was a disqualification or what, but that's his race meeting done for the day.
Roberts wide, that is Ash Sutton through now into the final podium position. Johnny Brandon, yeah, was indeed disqualified. Either that or I'm awaiting a disconnect, but yeah, Johnny Brandon, another of the newcomers here today. An issue for him, the Pro Sim driver. Last Pro Sim win was back at Sonoma, race 94 of the season. That was Alex Smolensky. Michael Avdoka trying to end that winless drought, but Dave Baker is coming. Last time around, Baker at 110.3, Michael Avdoka at 110.8. So half a second, as Alex was saying, getting taken out there by Baker.
Max Wright getting into Scott Malcolm, I think that was as well. Just look at this little gaggle actually, Adam. This is sort of around 10th
14,
to
15,
yeah, 10th to about 22nd. So that's a crazy pack. Not a lot of room at all there.
Bond and Newman, and that's Laura Bond off in the complex, and they made a bit of contact there.
That's a slow down as well for Bond. Horrible place to have one as well, on the outside. Everybody go through.
I would take that line on Forza, however, on Forza 7 they put a whole lot of tyre barriers there.
Crozier and Simmons having their little battle, just a little bit ahead. Whitehead in the background. He can perhaps capitalise here. Oh, they're all a bit like, after you, into that corner. Oh, someone in the Fnatic car goes flying. That's Thompson.
Yeah.
And I think he's called that a day, hasn't he? Just decided to drive into the barrier in the end. And Laidler into the pits as well.
Oh, he got hit, Alex.
Done. Yeah.
It was Mark Woodhouse that literally just slammed into the back of Thompson and sent him on a collision course for the tyre barrier there.
Let's take a little look at that one back. As, yeah, we often pick up sometimes when Josh makes the mistakes, but yeah, sometimes. Oh, that was the weirdest thing I've seen.
Well.
Okay.
Paul Thompson's out as a result of that as well. Yeah.
So that was very weird.
Well, the gap is
the car
now,
seemed to accelerate, didn't it, as well? You know. So, yeah.
Pit rep at the front then. The gap is 6 tenths of a second. The gap's coming down even more. It was 7 tenths on that last lap, getting taken out by Baker there, and he's got the slipstream as well to boot, and the gap is now half a second. So we're in for a pretty interesting final 4 laps.
Oh, Adam, it didn't wait until Facebook, I'm afraid. It's on the YouTube chat, and we thought it might be, so. But I'm not surprised. I'd be really annoyed with that as well.
Pretty, about the rejoin or the Thompson?
Yeah, the rejoin. So, pretty poor. And yeah, 4/10 of a second, then 4 laps to go. It's going to be a tough job for Evdoka. I think the minute Baker gets alongside, Sutton's going to pounce at exactly the same time as well.
Well, Ash Sutton, 2 wins to his name in the Showdown this season. Of course, other commitments means that he's not able to run a full challenge. I have just seen what it's been saying in the YouTube chat. Okay, onto the back straight we go then, and this is Baker's first opportunity to try and get past Evdoka here. Fastest of anybody on that last lap, Dave Baker, 1:10.1 compared to Evdoka's 1:10.7. Baker going for the inside, going into the final corner. Did Evdoka move too late? Well, it's all relative now, because here comes Baker up the inside, and he should get the lead. Evdoka's not going to give up though for ProSim. Round the outside of the final corner. This could be very close indeed, and Sutton going for that inside, but the door's really sharply slammed shut, and now he's going to be the bump draft down the front straight.
Pushing his teammate there just to try and give him that little bit of you know, half a car length inside, but great defensive from Doka. He won't unfortunately have the inside here, and Sutton's followed his teammate even though he's not lined up, although he just pulls up in the last minute round the outside. That's absolutely brilliant from Evdoka. We've only seen that once so far today. Usually it's curtains when you're on the outside.
Baker up the inside. Rob Graham's been DQ'd. He's out. He's done for the day, it looks like. Either that or he's crashed, don't know. But Baker back up the inside into turn 8. Giving Evdoka the room, so a bit of respect there being shown by Dave Baker, but look how much is slowing them up. Ash Sutton
could get both of them here if he wanted to, I think.
Sutton playing the team game, of course.
He's going to push his teammate, yeah.
In principle of the CQRS line team. 3 wide, down the back straight. Sutton getting out of it. Baker up the inside again on Evdoka. Sutton and Baker will be in communication with each other, so Sutton can act as spotter if needs be. In the final corner, they go to start lap 12, the penultimate lap of the race, and Sutton could get Evdoka here as well and make it a 1-2 for CQRS line, and that could be very much needed as the two nearly make contact and we nearly had a quarter panel.
Yeah, Baker squeezing a little bit more this time. I think he needs to if he's going to get the speed that he needs.
There we go.
And he's through into turn 1.
Look at this, they all slided though, didn't they? Well, they slid, I should say. Evdoka back up the inside and does hit Baker. They all come to a halt, don't they, through the turn 2?
Such a small contact. Did well to get the car stopped. He was very late on the brakes there. Couldn't quite get on the power as early as he wanted, but in between the two CQR guys, never an easy thing to do. he separated him as Sutton just drives in the inside there, and that's just the line round there. It's compromised his exit somewhat, but yeah, in the end he's kind of got it done, I think. So.
Oh, Evdoka looks a tiny bit miffed. I don't know whether he was just trying to get in the slipstream. It looks like that, but Sutton really caught Evdoka unawares there, just threw it up the inside, and Evdoka could do nothing about it. Going into the final corner then, start the final lap of the race here, and Evdoka versus Sutton, it continues. Look at the cutback that Evdoka gets off that final corner there. He doesn't want it to be a 1-2 CQRS line. ProSim do need the points. Baker's last win in the series, as we've been saying, was Bathurst, round 100. Now on race 119, so a 19-race winless streak for Dave Baker here. 1 lap to go. Yeah. Paul Smith running in 5th place with Ayres in 6th.
I'm playing good role now, I think, just to protect Baker a bit and let him disappear up the road a little bit. Don't worry about the pressure from behind. What else is going on out there? Dan Kraft and Wojciech, no, sorry, Sakovic, side by side. That's good. And that's a great, this little gaggle that we were looking at earlier. Still,
who's that?
Who was that trying to dive up the inside? Look at that, they're 2 by 2 by 2 by 2. I mean, that's just crazy. It's Noah's Ark.
Oh no! Oh, well, the less environmental one. That must be said. Well, yeah, contact between that must be the British car. Yeah, that's Woodhouse making contact with Stephen Baxter and Pete Newman. Oh, kicking off here. We've got 35 cars still on the track out of the 50 that started, and Dave Baker coming through the final corner. It's going to be a 1-2 for CQRS line, and Dave Baker's absolutely going to be delighted with that. His first win since before the showdown. It's a 1-2 for the team, and Michael Evdoka in his opening race meeting for ProSim gets 3rd place.
Yeah, great drive from him as well. It's not easy to do that. Oh, very close behind. This is Melrose, Whitehead, super close, and then Stellion with Crozier. Crozier gets that one, I think. And then I just cannot click back fast enough as the pack comes across the line.
Oh yeah, definitely. 31st place, 28th place, just about Pete Newman. We lost a few drivers on that last lap, it looks like. Alex Molensky drops a whole load of positions on that last lap, along with Mark Woodhouse. Thought what happened to him, I think. And I think Kip Stevens, did he get DQ'd or did he just tow? I can't tell which. But yeah, he ended up finishing in 36th on that down. Well,
for Baker there, actually.
Yeah, it was needed. And you never know. You never know in terms of what could happen at Interlagos. Interlagos last year did prove to be... Interlagos 2 years ago, I should say, was one of the races that undid Savidovic's title efforts. Remember there he got that penalty for colliding with Jamie Fluke, and that was a 0 there, and it allowed Sebastian Jobel way back into the title fight. So Baker needs to keep performing, and he's got that win today.
Yeah, you're right. That was that race, wasn't it, that kind of did it. So, yeah. Well, like I say, I'm happy for Baker because, you know, after that disconnect, he got himself a win, give himself a bit of motivation. He won't want to completely give up on this. He's got to stay with it for the rest of the season. I think he thought that he was going to have a couple more drops tonight, actually. So, in the end, not too bad. And they close that gap down to, it's probably going to be just over 300 points for him. So, but Hall had a good race again. He's looking like he wants to consolidate. No, he didn't, did he? He had a terrible race. My bad. So yeah. Well, just as he was looking to consolidate his 3rd position, well, he had a bit of a doozy there. And yeah, where was Harrod in this one?
Harrod finished in.
That's down, so he didn't score any points as well. So the major title contenders, really, for that 3rd place, now as it seems to be, all really suffering big time. So Simmons is going to jump back up, and Baker's going to jump back up as well. So yeah, I'll be interested to see what the points look like once they get updated.
They might have just been updated, Alex.
I think they have. Let's run through the final results, and then we'll talk about the points.
Okay, so well, credit to the admins for getting the points updated while we're still on the air. That is good, and we've a big change in the AM standings, but we'll get into that in a minute. Dave Baker wins the race. CQRS Line's 4th win of the showdown, and Baker's 1st of the showdown. Ash Sutton finishing in 2nd to make it a 1-2 for the team. Michael Evdoka in 3rd. John Roberts finishing in 4th position, a good result for him, and maybe just keeps him in with a shout of the Pro-Am Championship. Paul Smith in 5th. Jamie Ayres in 6th. 7th for George Simmons. 8th Andrew Whitehead after starting 3rd on the grid. Obviously, he doesn't have the pace to be with the best, but he did a good job there to get a top 10 result. Diogo Melro 9th after starting in 33rd position, one of the biggest movers in the field today, Diogo Melro, and Dave Crozier finishing in 10th. 11th for Stelian Chepelevski, started 36th to 11th, 25 positions gained. Rizzo in 12th, Wojciech Savidovic 28 positions gained. So whatever Chepelevski can do, Savidovic can pretty much emulate and maybe go a little bit better than that. 28 positions gained there for the reigning champion. Andreas Katz, his teammate as well, finishing in 14th place, so a really good drive through the field by those three Apex cars. 15th Max Wright, 16th Nicole Foggy, 17th for Scott Malcolm, 18th Laura Bond, 19th Miguel Freitas after starting in 45th. That is a 26 positions gained for him. 20th place for Sven Glatzel, 21st Nathan Davis, 22nd Ross McFarlane, 23rd for Adam McNally, 24th place for Martin Frunt, 25th Dan Kraft. A good race 4 there for him. Maciek Sakovic in 26th place, Brian Holmes 27th, 28th Pete Newman, 29th for Thorstein Helgersen, and 30th for Stephen Baxter. 31st Stuart Atkinson, 32nd for Roy Ververke, Jake Blackhall finishing in 33rd, Alex Walensky 34th, lost a few positions there I think on the final lap of the race, and then Mark Woodhouse finishing in 35th, and then the cars 1 lap down or more. Kip Stevens a lap down, 2 laps down Rob Graham, Ben Hackison 5 laps down, so yeah, he did get a win tonight, Hackison, but a DNF in race 4 won't help matters for him. Then Josh Thompson, really not happy there. Rusty Laidler 6 laps down, Johnny Brandon 7 laps down, Pete Harrod 8 laps down, along with Craig Evans. Then the cars 10 laps down or more. Matt Bunn, not happy one bit about what happened there. And I'm sure a protest will be lodged. Colin Cunniff as well out of the race. Michael Blake 2, Michael Hall, 2 CQRS line cars there failing to score points. Lee Deemer, Alex Everett and Jamie Fluke as well. First 2 races were alright, but then the next 2 after that, DNF and a DNF as well. So, in fact, no, race 1 was okay. Race 2, a DQ. Race 3, a DNF. And race 4, a DNF. So, race 1 was the only good light in Jamie Fluke's world today. He finished in 50th place, 13 laps down.
Let's talk about the points then. I think we have Dave with us as well.
Yeah, you do indeed.
Yeah, that's it. We were never really sure. There's a few Daves, and he just called himself Dave on TeamSpeak just to get it. But yeah, top points, and then we'll have a quick chat with him as well. So for the night, then Wojciech Savidovic, provisional winner of the night with 355 points. Dylan Chepelevski second, 329. Sutton in third. Good meeting for him. 3-2-1. Katz fourth. Melro with a good meeting in fifth. McFarlane, top AM driver, 303. Great result for him. And it was Simmons, Foggy, Rizzo and Sakovic. So for the teams, that means CQR S-Line top for the week. 1,000? Yeah, 1,011 points. Apex with 1,003 points. Then CQR Race Hub with 908. Worth pointing out, these are all provisional standings. Unfortunately, I know, Dave, you guys got hit with a bit of a penalty, didn't you, last week? So dropped a few points. Stuff like that can happen as well. In the reviews. So we'll have to wait and see that is. Top for the night then in the AMs, yeah, McFarlane, Rizzo, then Sakovic. So Baxter's gap, well, he's lost that gap. Yeah, so McFarlane now takes the lead in the AM Championship by 3 points. So very, very close there as well. For Verke, 166 points out of that. Baker, you had a well, you had your disconnect. I'm sorry for that.
I had issues. Yeah, it happens.
I'm a bit gutted for you there, but I am glad that you. I am
secretly
glad that. So I got my voodoo connection thing out as well. You know, really. So it's like, who got me disconnect tonight? DDoS. But yeah, I mean, 313 points. I know it's a margin, but it's still well achievable. A couple of DNFs, and it's all back on.
It's possible. It's a bit of a long shot, though, isn't it? Particularly, I mean, you saw how Wodge scored tonight, and Cheppy. At some point, you got to let Cheppy fight Wodge. I want to see the two of them go at it. They've got a big enough lead now. You can let him off the leash.
there is no team orders. They can have at it, and they did have a little battle today.
Well, I'll look forward to watching that back then.
Back to third place. I mean, you dropped down 3 places over the course of the meeting to 6, so but backed up to third with that result. It seemed like everybody had a few issues tonight. There was everybody in that sort of top 9 really had 1 DNF tonight, so pretty critical meeting.
I think that's kind of saved it a little bit for me. As I say, the gap's grown up at the top, but I think this track was always going to throw up kind of a few unexpected sort of results for people, just because that you get funneled down into that turn 2 sort of bit so easily, and turn 1 itself is difficult. So it's not surprising that we saw some of the issues we did tonight, given the size of the grid and stuff like that. But it's always a shame when that starts to kind of interfere with the points a little bit, shall we say?
Yeah, definitely. I mean, a good meeting for the whole team as well. If I'm not mistaken, that's first meeting so far. You've come out as provisional winners as well. So
yeah, it's because you guys are wrapping up the grid nicely for race 1 and just dominating the meeting from there. You guys are doing an absolutely fantastic job. We're definitely trying to study it and work out how you're doing it so well. So
yeah, I'm afraid I have nothing to do with it. So
damn it! So no tips here then.
That's why it's working so well. I'm better off out of it. So
it's been a whatever happens, it's been a cracking season. Now we've got a couple of rounds still to go, and the cream rises to the top, and it's really no surprise that you do see kind of Wodge and Cheppy up there battling the way they do. Fighting through. I think he started 45th, something like that, in the last race, and still came well in the top 20. So it's difficult to compete against that.
Yeah, indeed. Well, you're doing a good job, and like I sort of said as well, let's not get the spirits down. I'm glad that you bounced back up to 3rd, and it's still absolutely on. I think what is it? Basically, you got to keep within the 400 points going into the final race.
Something like that. Still got a chance. We'll have bad races, but when you bring hopefully Josh in, because I know I see him in the waiting room. I mean, we had a cracking battle in race 3, side by side for a couple of laps, and that just kind of brings your mood straight back up and go, yeah, there can be great racing throughout the grid. You don't have to be fighting up at the top for the overall win to have good racing. And I think that's what makes this league quite the success it is, really.
Yeah, absolutely. I think I was going to ask something, but it's just gone. Absolutely.
It wasn't where were we next week?
No. Sorry, it was about obviously the track today. Obviously, we thought perhaps it was a bit of a curveball doing the modified one.
It caught me out.
but actually, it's a really good track for battling here. It worked well in the MX5s on Tuesday, and we saw that really carry over nicely to tonight as well. I mean, there was several occasions we had some side by side for the best part of a lap as well. So yeah, a good choice in the end.
Yeah, I think it was in the end. So it was a bit of a curveball to me. I hadn't sort of been on the night before to do a bit of practice, so I came into the session a bit raw tonight, and sort of then was trundling around turn 1, was saying, oh right, okay, it's this one we're doing. So yeah, threw me a little bit, but we bounced back in the end. Yeah, got that race 4 win. Luckily with Ash kind of giving me a bit of a bump draft down the straight to get past. I
saw that.
Yeah, get past, and that was tough. Sort of thought he was going to bin me at one point.
Two questions before we let you go. How hard is it to get a 0 incident meeting in this series?
Very. Very, very hard. I mean, particularly if you want to move forward. If you just want to stay where you are and sort of things like that, then you can do it pretty easy, because it's off tracks that mainly are where people pick it up. But the moment you want to go side by side battling with people for a couple of corners, getting that clean race bonus is very, very difficult. So.
Well, we'll need to give John Roberts a big shout out then, because he's a driver who has done that tonight. 16th overall. So
particularly around this track, that is an amazing achievement.
Yeah, top marks for him. So final question, or more, over to you. Anyone you want to give a quick shout out to and thank?
I've just got to, thank you guys for the broadcasts you do. Thank the team for kind of helping me pick my spirits up a little bit this week after how it started and just how they've been all season, really. And then I guess everybody else that competes, we may not see eye to eye all the time, but we have great races, and yeah, that's what makes it worthwhile.
Awesome stuff, Dave. Thanks very much, mate. Yeah, enjoy the victory with the team.
Will do.
And victory for the team as well. And yeah, we'll catch you next week.
Yeah, catch you next week, guys. You take care.
Cheers.
Dave Baker there. Crucial win for him in the final race. We have got Josh Thompson here. Hello.
Hello.
Oh, race 4. Mark Woodhouse gave you a bit of a fright, and before that, there were a few issues going on as well. So tell us about race 4.
I had a bit of an awful like meeting, to be honest. Like, just didn't really. I had the pace, but with the penalties in the first 2 races set me back. Obviously, I'm missing out the reverse grid for race 3. So I was like starting 4 teams. I was like, I've got a decent chance. I had a great race with Baker in race 3 over like 25th, and I know I can race him and Ash quite well. So I knew with those 2 around me, if we got to the front, we could have a nice battle. Turn 1, carnage in front of me, and somehow on my I don't even know how I got through it. Literally, I think I picked up the smallest gap to get through, and there was just cars flying over me and everything. So lucky enough, I managed to get through that. And went up the inside of Laura Bond into a right foot down the back straight, and I got like really weird damage from it. And then from then, the cars started being like, it wasn't as fast in a straight line, struggling with the braking, so it wasn't. So I was having to fight over any position I could really get hold of, really. So obviously, got involved in a few incidents, getting dropped back, up, back, just like a pendulum, really. And then the Whitehead thing, I was just racing instant, to be honest. He just I think he outbraked himself, and because I was struggling with the braking, I braked a little bit early. He hit me, and because I was already decelerating, it boosted everything back up. And you know what the Kia's like from when you've driven it. It just, the brakes aren't very good, to be honest. That was me in the wall.
What was it like racing on the modified layout today? Not a common layout used on iRacing, but one you were using today. How was it out there?
I'm not a fan, to be honest. On Tuesday, MX5, didn't get on with it then, and today, fast, but I don't like it for. I understand why we did it for the MX5, but for the Kia, it'd been a lot faster. I'd have rather seen the full track. I think the racing, it would have been less incidents, but I think there'd been better racing because it's actually more genuine overtaking opportunities. I think with a modified track, there's a few corners you had to be quite brave to throw up the inside in. And a lot of people didn't expect you to do those moves, so obviously it's like turned in and etc. So it wasn't too bad, but I'd obviously preferred the full track because I prefer that track as a genuine track to drive around.
Well, speaking of overtaking opportunities, next week's track has tons of them. It's going to be Interlagos next week.
That's good. That is very good, actually. Because I love that track to pieces. Been flat out around there today and yesterday for Pro Series testing for Saturday. So, and obviously that's where I got my 4KR rating and stuff like that in the Renault. So I've had quite a good time there. So hopefully get a win or two, because it's been a while since I've had a good result.
It's going to be you and Alex Simpson then on the track on Saturday then, I guess.
Ooh.
Alex?
I look forward to it.
Oh, there we go.
That'd be good.
Cautiously confident, I take it. Well, yeah, Thompson, before we let you go then, or before you go, do you want to send a quick shout out to anybody?
Yeah, just say thanks to Fanatec. Again, great job. Car felt amazing. Shame none of them really got the result, except for, I think, Alex in race 3, I think, got a decent result. So wasn't too bad, and also Radicals as well for everything else behind the scenes.
Very well. Unfortunately, it didn't go your way, but sounds like you're optimistic for Interlagos, and yeah, best of luck as well in the Road Pro Series this weekend.
Cheers.
Josh Thompson there, and yeah, Alex, it's creeping up on it. Yeah, it's that time of year again, time for the Road Pro Series.
Yes, indeed. I'm not going to say too much about the Road Pro Series, to be honest. I'm doing it. That's about it, really. So, yeah, it's been a long time since I've been in the car. So, but actually really enjoying driving it again. So, yeah, we'll see what happens. I don't want to jinx anything. So, it's just my luck. I'll end up buried in some wall after turn 2.
Well, you won't have long to hear about it because I think. Are you around for the V8s on the Saturday, or?
I am around for the V8s on Saturday, yeah, so I'll be...
I'm sure Woody or whoever's around will be there to dissect it. We'll be back up, well, I think all 3 of us will be back on Sunday for the TCR, so we'll be able to lay into it in great detail then for a 2.4 hour race.
Wow, just saw that rejoin again. Not good.
What would you say, the J turn was worse or that one?
Oh, I'm sorry, Alex, but yeah, the J turn was worse. It was just, that was epic more than anything, actually. So, but yeah.
Well, I think we are just about out of time here, so I think we'll wrap things up from here at Sebring. Next week, Alex, Interlagos. Track that you know well, I'm guessing already.
Yeah, turned some laps there this week, I have to say. Yeah, I know the track well. It's a great circuit. It actually does play quite well for the Kia as well. That sort of hairpinny style midfield section as well is quite good. It can be quite aggressive through there. And yeah, quite long straights as well. You can brave down and into turn 1 and of course turn fast as 4 from the back straight as well. You know, good couple of overtaking opportunities there. So and I tell you what, we've seen some really good sort of side-by-side action as well, just because of the way that the track goes to, you know, to a left hairpin, to a sort of right, to a left, to a right, all the way down to the left as well. So I think we'll see, like we've seen tonight, some great side-by-sides. It's
a track known for big crashes as well.
Yes,
yeah.
Yes. Unfortunately, coming out of the turn 3, you know, the center S, there's not an awful lot of runoff area there, and the barriers unfortunately force you back into the circuit. So if there isn't some accidents there, it's likely to be a pretty huge one. So we maybe have to get ready on that safety car button. But of course, the issue is as well, when you hit that safety car button before people have passed the pit exit, they get caught behind the pit car as well. So it's a bit kind of like you almost have to leave it if it's on the first lap, because it just causes absolute boatload of problems.
Well, yeah, that is it then here for today at Sebring. And this weekend, yeah, we have got quite a bit of stuff to bring you. We've got, yeah, Saturday, the European V8 Supercars head to Phillip Island. That's at 6 o'clock. And the TCRC TV VTEC 2.4 hour series heads to Watkins Glen Sunday evening for a 2.4 hour broadcasting. We should be around for that one. So yeah, my thanks to Alex as always for being on the cameras and for being in the commentary box for this one. On a night where David Baker thought that his championship chances were cooked, but a winning race for gets him right back in with a shout. We'll see you at Interlagos, 8 PM next Thursday. From all of us here at Apex Racing TV, bye for now.